Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, can you hear me? Mother Radharani, Mother Vati Devi, Dr. Lawson, you're welcome. Hare Krishna. Yeah, I can hear you clearly. Can you hear me? Hare Krishna, Mother. Hare Krishna, Dr. Lawson. Can anyone hear me? Is anyone on the platform hearing me? Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu. Are you hearing me?
Yes, I'm hearing you. I've been asking, is anybody hearing me? Yeah, I can hear
I was
you.
trying to on my phone. Sorry.
Okay. It's all right. It's okay. I actually was having some technical issues when I started, so I have to restart. So you're welcome. So Maharaj also was here a little bit earlier, so I will have to inform him that we're back. You're welcome. We'll start in a few minutes.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu.
Hare Krishna.
Okay, Prabhu. Can I, Mother Stella is asking for the link. Can I give her? Stella Moye.
Yes, give it to her. Give it to everyone who wants to.
Okay. All right, Prabhu. I'll do that now.
Prabhu, you should know I'm busy now. I'm busy. You can go online. You can go online. I'm busy. The link is up.
God will make a way where there seems to be no way. He works in ways we cannot see.
He's walking, it's the same code. Just press the link in the
Cause I'm looking for the love you share.
Warisha, we're not hearing the music playing. It's not playing out.
It's not playing. Ah,
Only the pictures we are seeing, but not the music is not playing out.
okay.
It's playing out here. It's playing out here. I'm hearing it. Aribo is playing out here.
Okay.
I am a heart, I am shackled by the love, yet I'm free just like a...
Hare Krishna, we're just waiting for Maharaj to come back. Maharaj was online before. So once Maharaj comes back, we will start.
dove I saw high and the freedom. I am a home, the whole world calls its own. For a million children, oh, wanna give my life for you, give my life for you. Take a look at me just like a fantasy. Everything I give is coming back to me. This is Gora Pada. You're my only Gora Pada. You are a survivor. You are helping all your enemies cause you are great. I am staying Gora Pada. I am staying cause I'm looking for the love to share. Cause at the break of dawn, giant in the sun, this is Gora Pada. But I conquer Red Bull Eastern Guardian of Africa. I'm a champion, I'm a nation. I will not sell my vote to corruption. I say no. Your servant am I, your servant am I. Take a look at me just like a fantasy. Everything I give is coming back to me. This is Gora Pada. You're my only Gora Pada. You are a survivor. You are helping all your enemies cause you are great. I am staying Gora Pada. I am staying cause I'm looking for the love to share. Cause at the break of dawn, giant in the sun, this is Gora Pada. Gonna make you happy. You can't exhaust me. I am your culture. I'm a coat of many colors. This is Gora Pada. You will see me on the brightest place. I will lead you to the brightest place. Yes, sir. You are helping all your enemies trust you are place. I am staying Gora Pada. This is Gora Pada. I am staying cause I'm looking for the love to share.
Hare Krishna, dear devotees. Hare Krishna. So we want to welcome all of the devotees once again for this special memorial program organized for our dear brother, His Grace Bali Prabhu. Due to the popular request last week, an inability to accommodate as many devotees as possible. So we've organized this second day online tribute ceremony for His Grace Bali Maharaj Prabhu. So we'll start the program now. I'm sorry for the initial technical issues in sounds, but everything is on point now. So we'll be playing the special song for the departed soul, Vaishnava song, Gyanilo. So after that, we'll take the opening prayers from Maharaj, and then we'll continue from there on. Thank you.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu.
Yes.
Hare Krishna, can you hear me? Yeah, it seems
Okay.
there was a problem with the first link that you displayed on the forum, which I shared practically to everybody. And it seems they are finding it difficult to come in through that link. So, but with this last one you gave me now, I've just tried to share to a few people, and it's only then that I see people trickling in. So I think we should give a little time again. Let me still share to more people this current one. The first one I could not log in. I could not log in with it myself. Right, Chandrasekhar, so many people in short.
Okay.
So let's see.
The challenge was that initially when I logged in, I was having a technical issue with my voice. So
okay.
I had to restart the platform. So that was why you are not getting it, because temporarily it was off because I was restarting. But
all right, this means it can still work. That one can still work now.
Exactly. It's the same link.
Okay.
It's not differently. Thank you.
So the password is different though. The password is Bali Prabhu. You don't use the Bali, you can't get in.
Did you hear Shiva Vanacharya Prabhu Salika?
Yeah, that was the last week. Last week was Bali Prabhu, but the code for this week is different. If
it's
you check,
108, I think.
Yes, the last week code was Bali Prabhu, and then it's a new link we're using this week. It's not the old last week link. If you check the link for this week, you realize it's a different link, and then it has 108 as its passcode. So
I tried some other codes, it didn't work. But when I tried Bali Prabhu, I got to enter.
The passcode is Bali Prabhu.
That's right.
Okay, I think everything is support. Everyone is coming in now. I can see more people coming in. So I'm sorry for the initial technical issue.
The problem is that not many people are on that forum. That was Krishna Africa. So we had to practically share it to individuals. So we are going over that all over again, you know. So, but let's see what will happen. What about Maharaj?
Maharaj was in before and is back. Yes, so Maharaj is with us. Okay, I think now we can start. If I have the permission of His Grace Srivas Vrachari and Maharaj. Can we go ahead?
Well, if you have enough
we don't have enough audience yet to I think about 9 people.
Okay, so we just play the Gianello prayer song while we wait.
The Bluetooth device is ready to pair. The Bluetooth device is connected successfully.
Sangana kaya kande narota nada. Sangana kaya kande narota nada. Jayaniyo hemadhana koruna pracho.
Hare Krishna. Am I audible? Hare Krishna. Am I audible? Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu, I'm hearing you, but there are some challenges. So,
Okay.
Prabhu, challenges. Some people, many are people calling me that they are not able to log in with the pass code. So I'm just trying to send them this Bali Prabhu as passcode from Ghana, from elsewhere. So what's happened? This last one you sent to me was carrying 19th December, and I was able to log in with it. But I was afraid. I don't know whether it was an error, you know. The one that has to this date, people are finding it difficult to log in with that. Is it okay now?
Yeah. Let me check. Let me do a check.
Please rectify that first. So,
let me
see if you
check
can
the
fix
one
that.
we are using. Just a second.
Okay.
Hello, Haribo. Testing.
Hare Krishna.
God bless you, Salika Prabhu.
All glory to Prabhupada.
How's the family?
We're on YouTube live.
Okay. YouTube?
We're on YouTube live.
Okay. Which channel on YouTube?
If you check the Hare Krishna platform, Hare Krishna Africa platform, the link is there.
On YouTube,
Yes. Utpala Prabhu, I think you should just stick with the last link I sent to you.
But if I share it to people, it's having a different date. It's having the previous date. So they get confused. Some, you understand? That's the problem. When they look at the date, they say, look, the
Okay,
date is different.
Share the link you used to come to log in with them. So
Yeah, that's the one you sent last, and that one has 19th as the date. You understand? Of course, that was the one I sent to. Is
one of 26 is what we're using. Please use the link of 26. 26th link. Use that link. That is where we are, what we're using. Please.
Okay, but we were finding it difficult to log in with that earlier on. So that's the problem. Many people
Prabhu Utpala, we're online. Let us reduce the back and front conversation.
Okay.
The reason why you are having initial network login in challenge, I explained. When we started somewhere along the line, my audio wasn't working, so I had to shut down and restart. So that was when you could not communicate or log in. But the link is working now. So please let each and everyone log in with the designated link for today. The link shared for today is what we should use.
Okay.
Okay, without taking much of a time, I think we should go ahead with today's activity. Our request His Holiness Bhakti Damodar Swami to please kindly always the opening prayers so that we can start.
Om Vishnu Padi relationship Vedanta Swami Channel. Services Saraswati Devi Gaurav and Pichari. There is a Om Gyana Simha Gyanan
My God.
Chaitanya Manu.
Maharaj, please kindly unmute. Maharaj, sorry, you're muted. Okay.
Andiham Sri Guru Sri Utapada Kamalam Sri Guru Vaishnava Sri Rupam Sagra Jatan Sahagana Raghunathan Vitam Tam Sajivam Sadvitam Savadutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Deva Shri Radha Krishna Padman Sahagano Lolita Sri Visakantam Sha He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dina Bandhu Jagatpati Gopisa Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namastute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhi Vrindavanishwari Vrisavana Sute Devi Pranamami Hari Priya Vanchakal Tarugyascha Kripa Sandhyayi Vachan Aditanam Pavinivyo Vaishnavyo Namo Namaha Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Sivasadi Gaura Bhakti Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you very much, Maharaj, for your presence. Maharaj was the first person that came onto the platform when we started, exactly at 2 o'clock as the designated. We thank you very much, Maharaj, for showing the exemplary, timely attendance to the program. So on behalf of the devotees in general, I want to once again welcome all of the devotees to this second edition of the online tribute ceremony for our dear departed brother, His Grace Bali Maharaj Prabhu. As we all, for those of us who are on the line last week, this program was scheduled for 2 hours, and some other due to so much of service that Bali Prabhu has rendered within the devotee community. So many devotees were not able to share their tribute. So based on that circumstances, we decided to extend it forward to today. So we thank all of you that has been able to make it here today. And Of course, also today as we start, as we all know, we had a little technical issue from the beginning. So I'm guessing that we'll have to stay a little bit longer than local time 4 p.m. So that we can accommodate the 2 hours. The lineup of speakers for today is Holiness Chandra Maharaj is not here. He's scheduled to be the first speaker. And since he is not here, we're supposed to be the second person that is supposed to be speaking is Grace Chandrasekhara Prabhu. Chandrasekhara Prabhu is, I think, is online, but his microphone is not on. Chandrasekhara Prabhu, if you can hear me, if you can connect your microphone, I think is the one using Galaxy J7. Chandrasekhara Prabhu, if you can hear me, you can log on your voice so that we can take your tribute. But if Chandrasekhara Prabhu is not ready, I may have to call someone else. Okay, Chandrasekhara Prabhu's voice is not still yet connected. So I'll go on with the next schedule. We'll be calling I'm expecting Atmatattva Prabhu to come also here, but he's not here, the regional chairman. But since he's also not here, we'll call on Yadunath Das Prabhu, who is the National Council chairman for ISKCON Nigeria, to give his tribute to His Grace Bali Prabhu. Yadunath Prabhu. Yadunath Prabhu also voice is also not logging. It's great, Yadunath Prabhu. If you can hear me, please can you connect your audio so that you can speak? His audio also is not connected. Okay, his audio is connected now. Yadunath Prabhu, please, it's your turn to speak.
The person you just called, Prabhu, is giving class.
Oh, Yadunath Prabhu is giving class. Okay.
Hare Krishna Prabhu, with you. I just left the temple room. He's giving class there. Hare
Okay.
Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Yadunath Prabhu.
He's there. Jai, Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Sorry,
Please,
we have some technical issue we were trying to connect.
Okay.
Okay.
So, are you ready? Can you go ahead with it?
Vaishnavas, please accept my most humble obeisances at your lotus feet. I want to count myself very fortunate to have the opportunity to speak about the pure devotees. I remember one time there was a story that I read that Narada Muni went to hell. So when he got to hell, he met one inhabitant of hell. And then the man asked him, Narada, I was told that I came to hell because I didn't have a moment of Vaishnava association. So I want you to explain to me what is the benefit of having the association of a Vaishnava. So Narada Muni said, well, this question you have asked me is too big for me, I cannot answer. Therefore, I will take you to somebody who can answer the question. So Narada Muni took this papi, this pin now is already condemned, was living in hell. He took him to Mount Kailash to meet Lord Shiva. So he put this question before Lord Shiva: what is the benefit of associating with a pure devotee? Lord Shiva said, I'm sorry, this is too big for me to answer. Only my father can answer this question. So they went from Mount Kailash to Brahmaloka. On reaching Brahmaloka, he asked the same question to Lord Brahma. I want to know the benefit of associating with a pure devotee. Lord Brahma fell in, just by hearing the word pure devotee, he fell into ecstasy. And when he came back from that ecstasy, he said, this question is too big for me to answer. Only the Supreme Personality of God, the Lord Vishnu, can answer this question. So he had to travel to Vaikuntha. When he got to Vaikuntha, he asked Lord Vishnu, my dear Lord, what is the benefit of associating with a Vaishnava? So Lord Vishnu looked at him and smiled. And Lord Vishnu said, you were in hell, but now you are in Vaikuntha because of a moment association with Narada Muni. And as my words goes in Bhagavad Gita, anyone who comes to my abode does not return. Because you have associated with Vaishnava, now you have come to Vaikuntha. And as it is now, you are not going back to earth. So what are we trying to say? His Grace Bali Prabhu was a devotee. He personally tried to associate with Vaishnavas. And like everybody may have, many people may have said about his contribution to taking devotees to India, to have better association. So by my understanding, using this storyline as a yardstick, I want to say that he did some welfare activity. He prepared so many devotees for higher experience. We may not be having this higher experience now, maybe until we leave the bodies, but because he made opportunity, he made arrangement for more devotees to have more Vaishnava association, he has done something very, very great. He has created a very big opportunity for devotees to have better experience, even now and when they leave this material world. I have heard from His Holiness Srila Bhaktidhira Damodara Goswami Maharaj that a devotee is one who stimulates others to be Krishna conscious. When Bali Prabhu was doing the Harinam party, he made arrangement for devotees to get tablets or some phones. And he made sure that that phone was loaded with Bhagavad Gita audio, Bhagavatam audio, and then Chaitanya Charitamrita audio. He loaded enough lectures in this audio. In this way, he was helping us, helping the devotees to follow the two most rigid principles in ISKCON. Srila Prabhupada explained that there are two rigid principles in ISKCON, chanting and hearing. So Bali Prabhu made arrangement for these two principles to be observed. One, by establishing the Harinam party and supporting devotees. And two, by making arrangement for devotees to have facilities with which they can always hear the holy name and they can hear lectures. Just like Sri Chaitanya Prabhu said, he said, I am so unfortunate that I have no attraction. Somehow or the other, many devotees made themselves unfortunate. When these tablets were given to them, they erased all the lectures in the tablets and put Celine Dion and put Bhakta-Ikon. So sometimes you will see a devotee playing something, you say, Prabhu, which music is that? You say, oh, Prabhu, you don't know? This is Bhakta-Ikon. There is no Bhakta-Ikon in our system. Bali Prabhu didn't put Bhakta-Ikon, but some devotees remove all these lectures that he put in this tablet and replace it with secular music and all the rest. So today we still have, even though Bali Prabhu is not physically present, we have a lot of reasons to remember him. One other thing that he did was, like Mahaprabhu said, is he said our system that a devotee is one upon when seen, one remembers Lord Krishna. Now, Bali Prabhu made arrangement and gave branded buses to some devotees or to some yatras for Harinam Sankirtan. Now, we are not doing very active service that we are making enough presence. But anywhere these buses enter, people knows that Hare Krishna have come. Even me personally that I'm talking now, if I drive to my village, if my brothers, they have their own cars, they are coming to the village. When they come to the village, nobody will know that they have arrived. But when I'm coming to the village, even from the junction, because of the bus, people already know that I am coming and they will begin to chant Hare Krishna. Sometimes crowd will follow me from that junction to the house. Everybody will be chanting Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna like that. So Bali Prabhu has done marvelously well. And at the same time, we read that a devotee has no karma. So we may begin to ask, so devotees who have to suffer enough pains before they leave their body, is that not karma? But I have heard from the lotus lip of, let me quote again His Holiness Bhaktidhira Damodara Swami Maharaj, that the bodily afflictions, the bodily pains that a devotee may pass through is not due to karma, it's due to the mercy of the Lord. When a particular devotee have the adhikar, because Lord Krishna want to glorify the devotees, he made them pass through certain pains which other devotees are meant to learn from. Anyway, I don't know how much time that I have, but in my quick summary, I want to say that Bali Prabhuji touched lives. He did so much. He helped so many devotees. Just yesterday, one devotee, somebody called me from Ondo State, and he said that he has been doing Harinam, and Bali has been supporting him, but now his house rent is overdue. The landlord has asked him out. He has sent him out. Of course, if our Bali was there, he will not have that problem. So this is another evidence of the kind of services he has been doing or he did when he was physically present. So we want to pray to Guru and Krishna, just like the very day we heard about the sad news of his physical separation, we recited Sri Upanishad mantra 15 to mantra 18 for him. And one of the statements there is saying that Lord Krishna should not forget whatever what we may have done in trying to serve him. So whatever devotional service Bali Prabhuji may have performed, and whatever way he has tried to serve humanity, because even in the secular world, it is said that service to God is service to humanity. So if by this statement, I want to judge Bali Prabhu, I will say, since he served enough people, he really served people, then that means he served God. And Krishna said that he will never forget any good that is shown to him. So we want to believe that by the mercy of all the acharyas, both those that are physically present and those who are gone, and by the mercy of his piety, some devotional service and some welfare service that he has done for devotees, we have a good situation. I was just reading 5th Canto Bhagavatam, chapter 5, text number 2. And Lord Krishna is saying, Mahat Sevat Aho Dwaram Vimukti. Lord Krishna is that verse is emphasizing on the importance of rendering service to pure devotees. I remember one day I was talking with His Holiness Bhakti Damodara Swami Maharaj, and he said that there was a time all the devotees consider him not to be, in short, he should not be around, he should travel. And Bali Prabhu made arrangements and gave him tickets and gave him extra money. And he went to India and enjoyed himself for 6 months. So that is service to pure devotees. And if it is true that service to pure devotees can free one from going to hell, so I want to have so many reasons to believe that because of the potency and strength of service, Bali Prabhu must have gotten a good position. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. His Grace Jagannath Prabhu Ki Jai. Thank you very much for this. His Grace Bali Maharaj Prabhu Ki Jai. So thank you very much, Jagannath Prabhu. The time given for each speaker is 5 minutes. And maybe we can accommodate 1 or 2 more minutes, but let us stick to 5 minutes so that we can accommodate as many devotees as possible before we run out of time. The next person that will be giving this tribute is Chandrasekhara Prabhu. I think is back, is online now with his voice. I do hope Chandrasekhara Prabhu will be. Chandrasekhara Prabhu. Okay, if Chandrasekhara Prabhu is not here, I will want to call on Chandrasekhara Prabhu. His Grace Chandrasekhara Prabhu, can you hear me? You are muted now. Can you go ahead and speak?
Hare Krishna Prabhujis and Matagis. Please kindly accept Madanavat at your lotus feet. Well, Hare Krishna, since I've been given the opportunity to speak, I think I have to first beg the indulgence of every single devotee and every person listening and following us all over the world. Hare Krishna. It is important that I mention certain things before I now speak with Bali about Bali Prabhu. I have to make things clear because if anybody is closer to the family among devotees, I think I'm the most closest person to the whole of Roshigi family. Although in the past, certain people have made some statements that are not properly in place, especially if people mention things about Bali Prabhu's father, but it's because they did it in ignorance. They didn't know him. I knew about Bali's father when I was very, very young in the 60s. During those political days, I was present the day Akintola was killed. One of my junior brother was born the same day, and we were in a hospital that day. And I got to know that Chief Ayorosigi is such a very important. If we have a political stability in Nigeria today, Chief Ayorosigi contributed tremendously to it, with the association of people like Chief Awolowo, Obafemi Awolowo, Tafawa Balewa, and Nnamdi Azikiwe. So if you can't mention big names in the Nigerian politics without mentioning Chief Ayorosigi. Just like Chief Ayorosigi is such a very important politician, he's a professional lawyer, and he has contributed tremendously. Not only that, he loved his children so much that he followed them to the letter. When he puts you in a school, he's always monitoring whatever you do in the school. Even when you finish school, this is a father, a very loving father, that when you finish school, before he puts you, he brings you to work in one of his companies, you will start as a laborer. You see, he wants you to go through all the processes so that you know what everybody endures when they work in the company. In this way, when you get to the position of power, you will have a feeling of those who are working under you. That is Chief Ayorosigi. So people say, I've learned that some people say Bali's father, that is Chief Ayorosigi, disowned his son. It is not true. He has never disowned any of his sons. None of his children has been disowned. Late Dr. Bolu will not say that. Late Londe will not say that. Olagide Oladapo Rosigi, who is my karate student, cannot say that. Because it is true, Ola, I got to work in their father's company at Nigeria Distilleries at Ota for many years. I also learned somebody said the father disowned him so much that he has no money. That person spoke in an ignorance, because I cannot tell you how many times Bali in his lifetime will send me, even when I was with him at Apapa, he will send me to go to maybe Nigeria Distillery or to Anita Shu or somewhere. I will come back with a check in an envelope. The least I get I bring in the check in an envelope is at least 2 million naira. So how can anybody say the father disowned him? He has no right for his father something? And most importantly, most of us didn't know Bali used to have problems, though he helped a lot of people. He helped a lot of people that made some are not even cognizant, some are not, are not grateful enough. But the fact remains that Bali doesn't care whether you recognize, don't. He will help. Bali assisted a lot of people so much. If I personally had gone to Japan in 2006, it is Bali's money. I didn't tell him. It was Prabhu'S Maram that told him that Prabhu Chandrasekhara needs money to get his ticket, to get the visa. Then he now came to attack me. He said, whenever you need something, you will never talk. People will talk on your behalf. Why? He just counted $3,000 and gave it to me right there on the spot at Apapa. Then I went to get the ticket at $1,600 and then went for that program in Japan. I came back with the rank of 6th-degree black belt. But because he was also training with me when I was with him at Apapa every night. So, and he did grading with me. And when I got to Japan, I was able to bring back his 1st-degree black belt from Japan also to him. Bali also got a Prabhu Lila Raj to register an organization called African Karate something. And only him and myself are the shareholders. And he said, please give me some time. I'm now investing some money into PMAN, into Pronaco, into Goranga Foundation, and Nigerian Network NGO. Give me some time. By the time I'm ready for you, you will be happy. We will set up that program, and our center will be the best in the whole world. We'll go to Japan and get the equipment and get everything. That company he registered, he gave me the certificate, gave me everything. It is with me. So it is wrong for anybody to speak ill of Bali's parents, Bali's family, or Bali's father. Bali's father is the most loving father. In fact, when Bali disappeared, the father he told me, look, I know you are the one who used to guard my son to make sure that he gets in touch with temples. If you please, I want to see him. Then I promised the father, I went to Ivory Coast because I'm the one that started ISKCON in Ivory Coast. I went to Ivory Coast, I didn't see him. When I came to Togo, Bali had traveled out of Nigeria with seaman certificate, had gone around the whole world, and now jammed Bali in Togo. Remember, I'm the first person also who preached in Togo with the assistance of Puna Chandra to set up an altar for somebody at Nwepen in Lome, in Togo. So I met Bali there. What was he doing? He had a lot of set of Bhagavatam and he was distributing, placing those things in library, bookshops, and then, but I said, but your daddy was telling me I should make sure I find you. Then I quickly rushed back and told his brother, Dr. Bolu, late Dr. Bolu, I found him, he's in Lome. Then the father made arrangement to make sure that he comes down from there and told him, whatever do you need? What do you need? Even when he was in Europe, the father used to make sure that when he knows he's in so place, he will arrange to make sure that he gets money across to him. So how can anybody say the father abandoned him or the father didn't make care of him, disown him, the father did it? Or no. If you know the share that Bali replaced the father in being, the share he has in some companies of the father. I was chief security officer for all his father's company in Nigeria, starting with Nigeria Distillery Limited, Atota, Anita Shoe, Bramuro, Swings Nigeria Limited, Ayo Limited, and so on. So I'm the most closest person to the family. So I'm the one that can talk about the family. Let anybody stop talking ill of the father of the family. He's a father, a very loving father, caring father. He cares so much that he wants to make sure that the future of his children are very bright. And he followed them up. When Bali disappeared from home, disappeared from school in London, he makes sure he gets him named down somewhere where Bali has already renounced, and then bundle him down straight to Congo. Bali turned everybody in Congo to devotees. So he was brought back to Nigeria, was put in the Auchi Polytechnic. Bali was regularly going to Benin Temple with Anandini Prabhu. But the time Bali was brought to Lagos, I didn't know. He was put in Dr. Bolu's house. Dr. Bolu's house is just behind my own house. I would be doing japa early in the morning, but then I would be hearing someone else also doing japa. Then at one time I stopped, and then the japa was continuing. Then later on, I decided that I want to see the person. As I was trying to climb up, he was also trying to climb up. Then we met each other. Then we spoke. Then that same day, he came to see me in his father's company at Sangota. That's how we knew each other. Then I guided him how to get to Lagos Temple. And then we continue from there. Ever since then, we never leave each other. He's so kind to me. In fact, when my father died in 2005, everything spent, more than 30 vehicles went with me. All his staff of Goranga Foundation were all there with me. I took my father all the way from Ibadan down to Port Novo to bury him. It's all Bali's money. I never asked him, but he said you will need, but he put money in the hand of the manager then. No, we can never finish talking about Bali. Please let everybody know Bali is such a wonderful, kind-hearted, nice devotee from a very, very respectable and nice family too. Hare Krishna.
His Grace Bali Maharaj Prabhu ki Jai. Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Chandrasekhar Prabhu, and the members of the family of the Roshiji family that might be online. We take responsibility what spoken in a manner that displeases the family. Whoever has spoken on this platform intends to glorify the service and activities of His Grace Bali Prabhu. It was not an intentional thing to bring down the family. We glorify the family because a devotee of the Lord was born into that family. Thank you very much. I want to use this opportunity to welcome His Grace Prabhupada Lila Das onto this platform. I'm very delighted to see you here. Thank you very much for coming. We'll be calling you very soon to give your tribute about Bali Prabhu. I know that even if we want to spend the whole of the day, we may not be able to actually call everyone to this to give tribute, but we'll make it quick. I will give a longer time to Chandrachikra Prabhu because he wanted to express some few things that he had in mind. Please, we request devotees to please strictly stick to 3 to 5 minutes so that we can accommodate as many devotees as possible. There's one of the devotees here who actually worked directly with Bali Prabhu when he started the temple in Apapa, and he has a whole lot of memories about Bali Prabhu. I want to call on His Grace Kavi Kanapura Prabhu to speak, to give his tribute. Kavi Kanapura Prabhu, please kindly unmute and give your tribute.
Hey, Prabhuji, Hare Krishna Prabhu, please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to the Maharajas and all the senior devotees on the platform. Sorry, I just packed one corner to be relishing the glories of Bali Prabhu because Prabhuji his glories is innumerable. You cannot list them. That 1, 2, 3. So because that is the way of a great Vaishnava. Pay my respect to Maharaj on the platform and other senior devotees once more. So, like many devotees have said about His Grace Bali Maharaj Prabhu, Prabhuji is a very wonderful devotee, as we all know. So, devotees, as you know, since the day at the burial day and the day we have been given the tribute, many devotees have spoken very wonderfully about Prabhu. So, but I've not been able to give the opportunity. I've not been able to get the opportunity to say my own. So, thank you, Prabhu Salika, for giving the opportunity also. So I remember very clearly. I remember very clearly what I remember about Bali Prabhu is out of good. You know, Prabhu is one. Sometimes the way I perceive that is different from, although we read it from the scripture, but is different from the way materially we see that. I begin to see that as a way, because sometimes when somebody leaves, the people around or in the material world, they started feeling, oh, the person has gone, as if the person is losing or missing something. No, because the person has been given opportunities to, it's either to go higher or to go to the spiritual kingdom. Because I know from the consciousness of Bali Prabhu, there's nothing less. I remember very clearly in the beginning, when I was in Ajao Temple, in Ghani William, when we were there, there's one devotee, Purnachandra, and a Bali Prabhu, they were coming to that temple that time. So that time, whenever I'm chanting, they will come close and look at me and this. And since then, Bali Prabhu had developed some interest in me. And after that, he told me that they were going to take me to India, which actually changed my own paradigm of spiritual life, which is very, very helpful for me, because he actually changed everything about my life just by him taking me to India that period. So when Bali Prabhu took me to India, when we were in India, Prabhu is completely a transcendental person. No matter whatever anybody is thinking, no matter whatever we feel about him, he's a completely transcendental person. That is why when somebody is talking about him, I just smile. Because the consciousness he is, you cannot, how can I say, you cannot fake it. You cannot fake it, because if somebody is pretending, you can only pretend maybe 1, 2. But if somebody continues to do something again and again, it's not a pretension. It's on that platform of that consciousness. Well, even in Vrindavan, some of the devotees that are well known in this world. They may not be known in the Vrindavan town, but in Vrindavan town, they know Prabhu Bali. If you go to Vrindavan today, people will say, do you know Bali? Bali Maharaj from Nigeria? This is how popular the Prabhu was in Vrindavan, even in Mayapur. Because when he gets to those places, he will just completely, he will forget about the material situation and he will go into the spiritual transcendental realm. He will wear Babaji cloth and he will be chanting around, go Nitai, Goranga, completely transcendental realm. So when we are in India, like physically, I would like to say, Prabhu tried all his best to make sure that I was comfortable. He will give me so much money. You say, Prabhu, take care of yourself. I will use this money, I will eat, buy books, do all kinds of things. It was so much caring for me then. So I enjoyed that our association together when we were in India. That first time we went there. It was so loving, so caring, give me so much money. I will spend lavish, everything. I will still come back to him. He will still give me again. It was so wonderful, our relationship when we were there in India. Then when we now came back, Prabhu has a very big
Kavi can approve Prabhu's network is off.
Goranga Mahaprabhu mission. And he tried his best. Human being will always have, or to the extent that the Lord has given. When we're going to Brazil to study same kind of consciousness into our arena in Nigeria, and we can spread Goranga Mahaprabhu's mission. That was his vision. So we were preparing to go to Brazil. So and now it's only two of me and him who was staying in that Papa that time. So we were now thinking, if we go to Brazil, who are we going to leave the deities with? And that is why they brought Gora Gopa. That's how Gora Gopa, that was the beginning of Gora Gopa Prabhu coming to join us. But somehow or the other, the Brazil going did not manifested, and many other things came after that. So what I'm trying to say in essence is that his art is completely different the way he thinks about spreading Krishna consciousness. And I believe if many of our leaders can think in that way, our temples will be more brighter than whatever we have today, and the way we approach preaching also will completely be different. Because for us to really preach in this Nigeria or Africa, we have to think out of the box. Maintain the purity, yes, is very important. Maintain the culture is very important, but we have to think out of the box like Bali Prabhu was always thinking. And that is the only way we can connect with our people. Because no matter how, Krishna has put us in a particular environment to be able to connect with our people. And unless we're able to achieve that, to be able to connect with people and transform people in numbers, to take to Krishna consciousness, I cannot say that we have achieved our aim in this Nigeria or West Africa. And Prabhu Bali has, to some extent, done that. He has touched the life of many people in Nigeria, even in the higher class. No matter whichever way he has done that, but somehow or the other, the process is to connect people to Krishna, to give people Krishna. That is the most essential thing. So Prabhu Bali has done so much in that regard. So whatever it is, me, I'm not feeling pity, I'm not sympathizing. Me, I'm very happy. Because why? He has gone to a higher platform. Many of us, we don't even know where we are going to be. Because Krishna is Baba Grahi Janandana. Somebody we may be thinking that somebody is going to somewhere, but Krishna knows where he's going to place everybody at the end of the day. So I'm very happy for him. He needs to change that body, and Krishna has done that successfully. We thank Krishna for that, and let devotees rejoice, because Prabhu has met his own fate. We don't know our fate. We should pray to continue to remain in Krishna consciousness till our own at the end of this life. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you very much. It's great. Kavi Kanapura Prabhu. It's greatly Bali Maharaj Prabhu Ki Jai. I was just, as Kavi Kanapura Prabhu was speaking, I was just remembering a verse in the Srimad Bhagavatam 4th Canto, chapter 4, chapter 30, text number 37, which says that, dear Lord, your personal associate devotees wander all over the world to purify even the holy places of pilgrimage. It's not such activities pleasing to those who are actually afraid of material existence. This is the nature of the devotees of the Lord. Since last week, we've started this program. One thing that is constant in every of the tribute that is given to Bali Prabhu is that his compassion is big heart to see that people who are in this material world suffering and in different guise of material sufferings, in different forms of material sufferings. It tries all its best to touch their lives. And this is the grace, this is the unique nature of devotees of the Lord. Thank you very much, Kavi Kanapura Prabhu, for that wonderful tribute. Before coming back to Nigeria, I want to call one of those young devotees who have also wonderfully associated with Bali Prabhu in those days when he was striving to expand the preaching activities here. But before doing that, I want to go quickly to Ghana once again. And I'm trying to balance between Nigeria, Ghana, and other countries that are present on this platform. So I'll be going right now to Ghana. It's Grace Chaitanya Prema Prabhu. It was one of his very close god brother. Chaitanya Prema Prabhu, please kindly unmute and give your tribute. Chaitanya Prema Prabhu.
Hare Krishna. All glories to all the Vaishnava devotees of the Lord.
There's so many phones in use in that room.
Please tell whoever is close to you to move a little bit apart so that we can hear you.
Okay. Okay, please.
I just muted you because the noise is interrupting. If you need some time to reset, we can call someone.
In the temple room, it has been reset. Please, Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Okay, go ahead.
And our pronouns, all glories. Thank you very much for giving me the opportunity to talk about Bali. Bali is a great Vaishnava. Myself, I renounced January 1985 in Benin. And when I got to Benin, it was Bali who was temple president. So actually, no, not temple president, temple commander. That time, Bali Maharaj was such a renounced person that if you look at his body, the type of energy he carried, and he was so renounced that he goes barefooted. You know, it's a big man. He was a big man that actually brought himself down to everybody's level. That was the level I met Bali does. And Bali Prabhu will walk throughout day and night, making deities. He does this, he does that. He was so active. So I became captivated by him right from that day one. My first contact with Bali in Benin Temple, 1985. Then apart from that, later, very, very much later, I came to Lagos when I went to school in Port Harcourt, and I came to Lagos wanting to travel out. Then somehow or the other, the Lagos temple, you know, had very little space, just one flat for everybody. And I came with all my loads, bags, this and that. And when I got there, they told me that, Prabhu, there is no space for you, no space. I just came all the way from Port Harcourt with all my loads, including one of my nephews, who is coming to the temple for the first time, only to come and be told, they are hearing, only to come and be told that there is no space for you. I was so embarrassed. I said, what is this boy going to tell my people when he goes back? So I thought, I was still having some 3,000 naira. Then I said, okay, let me try Bali's place. So the taxi that took me to the temple just turned back and took me to Apapa. I didn't get, there was no prior information. Bali did not know that I was coming. And I got there to try my luck. And I told Bali, Bali said, no problem, you can come and stay. So Bali saved my devotional service because I don't know what would have happened to me at that point. I would have become so angry that I would have done so many wrong things. Because this is where I belong. I surrendered. I left my families. I left everybody. And after many years, I'm coming back and like practically pushing me out. That I have no. So where am I? Where would I go? Where would I go in Lagos? I went to Bali's place and Bali just accepted me like that. That singular act alone is enough. And that is my relationship with Bali. Bali accepted me when I was mostly in it. And that has defined my present statue of devotional service. Because if I had left there angry with everybody, I would have been gone. Maya would have swallowed me. But Bali saved me. He saved my devotional service. He saved my life. And not only me, I remember many devotees who went to Bali's place like that. He saved their lives. Param Brahma was there. Ganga Prasad was there. Many other devotees. Kavikanapura was there. Gora Gopal was there. Many devotees would have gone away. Bali just trapped. Bali's Apapa temple was like a safety net to trap those who are falling into the ocean of material existence. He just trapped them and brought them back to track. This was what Bali did to me. So everything else is secondary. So to me, today, tomorrow, next tomorrow, Bali is a great devotee. And my obeisances to him, wherever he is. And for a devotee of his caliber, there is no question of going down. Bali is going up, 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 up. You know, you remember Krishna's pastime that Putana was a great witch. And Putanaji went with the intention of killing Krishna. But Krishna made her a mother, a personal nurse. He promoted her to the position of a personal nurse in the spiritual world. So if Krishna could do that to Putana, how much more Bali? Bali, who have been a devotee for many years, who have made many devotees, who have saved many devotees' lives. So his position in the spiritual world as an associate of Krishna and Prabhupada and the Parampara is guaranteed. So that is it. So all glories to Bali Maharaj. We cannot say enough thank you to Bali for what he has done. But what pains me a little bit is that when we get great personalities like that, we don't know how to, get the best out of them. If we had gone with specific projects for Bali to sponsor in Eastern West Africa, it would have done it. That because we have no proper focus, we have nothing to present to him to sponsor, so he was just trying to do whatever he could do. So we should learn from this and try to have a focus as a movement, so that when we get important personalities, we can know how to engage them so that they can get the maximum benefit. We can get the maximum benefit from their association. So please let us learn something from this Bali going away. We got Arjuna. We couldn't do anything serious with him. We got what is his name? But we couldn't do anything wonderful with him. Now we got Bali and we've lost Bali. We didn't do anything wonderful with him. So please let us learn from this, so that when important personalities come around, we should know how to relate with them, so that we can get the maximum from them, both for ourselves and for them. So thank you very much for giving me the opportunity once again.
Thank you very much. His Grace Chaitanya Prema Prabhu Ki Jai. His Grace Bali Maharaj Prabhu Ki Jai. Thank you very much for the wonderful narrations about Bali Prabhu. Time is very, very constrained. I still request that we should stay on the limit of 5 minutes to spend a little bit more. I will share one verse again. Srimad Bhagavatam 7th Canto, chapter 9, verse number 44. It says, "My dear Lord Nisimha, I see that there are many saintly persons indeed, but they are interested only in their own deliverance, not caring for big cities and towns. They go to the Himalayas or to the forest to meditate with vows of silence, Mauna Vrata. They are not interested in delivering others. As for me, however, I do not wish to be liberated alone, leaving aside all these poor fools and rascals. I know that without Krishna consciousness, without taking shelter of your lotus feet, one cannot be happy. Therefore, I wish to bring them back to shelter at your lotus feet. This is the mood of Bali Maharaj. Bali Maharaj is not desirous. He has everything. He has all the facilities to make himself comfortable and practice devotional service to the zenith. But the tribute, the narrations we are hearing all shows the big art in the mood of those who are pure devotees, to see that everyone is taken into Krishna consciousness. That is the uniqueness of Bali Maharaj, Prabhu. I'll call on the next speaker. I'm coming back to Nigeria. One of the young devotees who have worked with Bali for a long time, Sri George, Sriman Nitai Das. Nitai Das is one of younger generation devotee, but one very closely work with Bali Prabhu. Nitai Das is now a very successful businessman, having gotten so much of inspiration from Bali Maharaj. Let us hear from the horse's mouth. Sriman Nitai, Prabhu, please kindly unmute and give us your tribute to Bali Prabhu. Everybody calls Nitai a nonsensical child. The moment he comes in contact with Bali Maharaj, his life changes, and he started relating with top personalities in the society. Let us hear from the horse's mouth. Nitai Das. Prabhu Nitai, are you still with us? Okay, he's not there to speak now. Okay, while we wait for him, I think he left. So since Nitai Prabhu is not there, the next person I'll be calling, I'll be going from Nigeria back to outside of the country. I want to go to South Africa now. One of our former regional secretary, temple president, temple commander, he has seen it all. One of our foremost devotee, disciple of Bhakti Maharaj, whom I'm very much pleased to see on this platform, His Grace Prabhupada Lila Das. Prabhu, please kindly unmute and share your tribute to His Grace Bali Maharaj, Prabhu.
Vanchakapa Tarubiascha, Kupa Sintubiasa Vacha, Patita Nampe Verebio, Vaishnava Bio Namo Namaha. Jasri Krishna Tintanya Prabhu Nityananda, Sri Advaita Gadadhara Swasade Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Of course, I've had a whole lot of wonderful tributes that from different devotees, and some of them I've not seen for many years, were given to Bali Prabhu. It was very sad for me when I heard about his passing. Very, very sad, because he still have a whole lot of service to do, especially for the mission in Nigeria and the rest of West Africa. But well, we don't question Krishna. When something like this happens, we accept, that this is Krishna's desire. And of course, I have to also acknowledge Maharaj's presence, and also my special, the person that trained me when I was a young devotee, Chintaya Prema. Please accept my humble obeisances, Chintaya Prema Prabhu. So quite very sad. Of course, I wouldn't claim that I am one of the devotees that are very close to Bali Prabhu, but I do. I've had quite a number of associations with him. I do remember when he brought in a whole lot of paraphernalia, deity paraphernalia that he brought from India many years ago, and then I was fortunate to be able to have some of them. In fact, at my home here, in South Africa, the deity of Srila Prabhupada was one of the deity that Bali Prabhu brought, and I still have that deity with me. I've been traveling with that deity for many years. And also there's a deity of Hanuman also as well. And some of the materials also that I have. And all these are actually from the mercy of Bali Prabhu. And then, of course, not to talk of, especially when I was in Nigeria, and then I was participating in terms of doing some service both in Benin, Enugu, Kaduna. I do remember the time of which a lot of devotees have talked about. He brought in a whole lot of buses and everything, and then was able to really assist so that we can use it to be able to do a whole lot of Sankirtan and a whole lot of preaching, which is a very fantastic service that Prabhu has done. And then I remember one of the, some years ago, I went to my mother's room, and then I saw a big box in my mother's room with a Jagannath, a Jagannath deity emblem on that box. And I was asking my mother, what is this? He said she went to church, and they were talking about these patches, that they call Gorapad, something. They came to their church and they were talking about it, and then she had to buy that thing about 90,000 or something thousand. And then she didn't even know that this is Jagannath, he brought, and then he kept it in her room, and I was sitting with her in her room. I was shocked. I couldn't believe it. Jagannath in her room, and I was asking, so what did they say? He said, and they were talking about how to use it, and they use the machine and use the, the patches and everything. And I asked her, what about the picture there? That he said, it's just the emblem of the producers and whatever. And then she just likes it, and she kept it in her room, and it was from her church and everything. So we can imagine how many churches, and my mother, she goes to her local church and everything, and how many churches that the Gorapa, the whole thing of, that we have, and all the members of the churches especially, that it has actually gone to their homes, which is quite an amazing service. And then, and it's quite a legacy, especially for, Bali Prabhu. And then, of course, a lot of devotees have talked about the assistance that he has given to a whole lot of devotees, and a whole lot of them. And also, I do know, of course, when, he established the Papa Temple, I was also there, and it was a very fantastic program. Remember also when they had a P-Man program, and then with Charlie Boy and all of them, and then, and we all took advantage of that to be able to do a whole lot of Harinam and a whole lot of other things. So it's actually Bali Prabhu have really touched. I'm sure that he did touch the heart of and the life of every single devotee, both in Nigeria and then and the rest of West Africa. And of course, talking about even his Nagara Sankirtan, even to the extent that he had to extend even to South America and all of them. So these are actually a quite immense service. And most importantly, especially when devotees are remembering the service, because when somebody leaves the body sometimes, of course, we devotees, we all do understand, because Krishna already has explained in the Gita that the soul is eternal. What actually lives is just that the body expires, but the actual personality continues to be to go on like that, So we do know that Bali is still there, and of course, Krishna must have arranged a better location for him. But also, I will also, most importantly, as we are having this program, not to talk of his entrepreneurial endeavors and a whole lot of things that he has done. But one what area I will also talk about especially is that it's always good when somebody has done some service, or when somebody is engaged in service, that it is done in such a way that there is a legacy. For instance, the Gorapad, I don't know, what the situation is with respect to that project. And then also the whole Sankirtan thing that he did, I don't know, how it has been sustained, over time. because preaching, Srila Prabhupada established ISKCON. And Srila Prabhupada, after establishing ISKCON, he was in the planet from the time he established ISKCON until he vacated the planet thereabout in 1977, November 14, 1977. But now look at all of us, and ISKCON continues to expand all over the world, despite the fact that physically Srila Prabhupada is no longer there. But ISKCON continues. And it's always a very wonderful thing. If somebody is doing a service and then is thinking about legacy, in the creation of the material world, if I may add also, Brahma created, and then of course Vishnu maintains, because it's difficult to maintain, to be able to ensure sustainability. So some of the Bali projects and everything, I don't know. I don't, because I wouldn't claim to be knowledge of whatever. But I don't know the sustainability of some of these projects and everything. It doesn't look, for instance, it kind of looks to me like some of them are just touch and go. The projects are done and then abandoned, and that is not very nice. We should, just like I heard from Chaitanya Prema Prabhu, what he did say, how to be able to use people in the sense of when we have opportunities of having very wonderful devotees like Bali Prabhu, and then of course, even if they are, materially gifted or whatever, that projects are done in such a way that there is sustainability, there is a legacy. It continues even if the physical body of that devotee vacates the planet, then the project continues to go on. And, for instance, Maharaj, I was reading some of the comments, tributes that was written there for Bali Prabhu on Hare Krishna Africa and everything. And in the course of those tributes, Kevchandra Maharaj interjected and said, look, you guys, you are talking about, he's very wonderful, and he's no longer there to give you anything, but you can continue to go on with the Sankirtan and the book distribution that he spearheaded. So these things are very important. These things are very important, particularly, especially in most of African countries, especially in the West African countries, Nigeria and everything. We have this habit of not having proper legacies. Okay, time is almost up. Not having proper legacies, not establishing a project and ensuring that that project lives beyond the individual that established it. So these things are very, very important. These legacies, it is very, very important. And there should be proper succession and legacies and everything. The other thing I may add also, because my time is already gone, is that I thank all the devotees, for this opportunity, especially of glorifying Bali Maharaj. But I do know also there were some other devotees also that left the planet, and we seemingly, didn't have even something to be able to glorify them. Maybe they had, I wasn't aware, but I'm only saying out of my own ignorance. One of them is Shukla Prabhu, Shuklambara Prabhu, who did a lot of amazing service in terms of, traveling and driving and everything all over the country, and Harinam and book distribution. Another one is Parameshwara Prabhu. At least I remember because he was the first devotee I met ever in my life, and who sold Bhagavad Gita and of course, Science of Self-Realization to me. Another person is Ovasi Mataji, and then Kate Mataji, and quite a whole lot of other devotees. Please, I will plead with all the devotees, when a devotee passes in this way, let us have opportunity, not just because Bali is, had the great opportunity of having material facility, but there are devotees also who have done also, they may not be materially opportune or facilitated, but they have done very amazing service in our mission. We must also acknowledge them. So, somebody like Shokla, somebody like Parameshwara, and quite a whole lot of them, So this is just my little contribution. Of course, I could have liked to talk quite a lot, but the moderator, Salika Maharaj Prabhu, already is telling me that my time is up. So I thank all the devotees. Hare Krishna, Vanchaka Patarvya, Shakupa Sinu Besevacha, Patita Anam Pevene Bio, Vaishnava Bio Numonumaha. Thank you,
Grace
devotees.
Balila Prabhu ki Jai. His Grace Bali Maharaj Prabhu ki Jai. Thank you very much for the wonderful speech. like you rightly said, no one can exhaustively glorify the activities of Bali Maharaj Prabhu. He is such a wonderful, unique devotee. And yes, your point is quite noted. For those devotees who have also passed among us, Suklam Bara Prabhu, yes, we did have a memorial service in Lagos physically. We are having this online because the COVID-19 has created this Zoom opportunity. But most of the devotees, I know that there are activities that were done as a memorial. But one thing that you said, which is really unique, is that there should be a record and a legacy of devotees who have departed. Most especially, I'm most fascinated by the story of your mom that you shared, carrying Jagannath. And I can tell you thousands, if not millions of people in Nigeria alone are carrying Jagannath in their house as we speak. Would never know how connected Gorapad is to Hare Krishna. Some are even chanting an offensive word against Hare Krishna movement, but they carry Gorapad in their house, and in Gorapad you carry Jagannath. So that's a wonderful service. And like I've discussed with some devotees in the background, some of these projects Prabhu did, there should be an interface with the family so that some of these projects, if they can be continued, it will be very wonderful. Thank you very much for those wonderful statements. We'll move forward quickly. I have not called any of the Matajis, and it's almost 6 minutes, about 6 minutes to 4 p.m., which is the official time. We're supposed to be closing, but because we started late, we're going to extend to 4:30, and by 4:30, we'll round it up. So we have about 34 minutes more to go. Please, I'm begging all of the devotees to please kindly accommodate for extra 30 minutes because we started a little bit late. I will want to call one of our mothers who is on the line, one of our senior mother. Actually, if he said, if by the scriptures, the first person that you meet is your first guru, she's the first mother that I met when I came into Krishna consciousness, herself and Mother Purata. I will never forget the very warm welcome they gave to me. That very fortunate day when I missed my way into fortune and come into Krishna consciousness. I'm talking in person of Mother Radharani Devi Dasi. Mother Radharani, please kindly unmute. She's one of our most senior mothers who has been there year in, year out. And hardly you can find any of our mates in the system today, but she has kept on going. And every other day, she's getting stronger and stronger in her devotional activities. Mother Radharani Devi Dasi, please kindly unmute and give your tribute to Bali Prabhu. Radharani Mataji. Mother Radharani Devi Dasi. It appears she's not close by, not ready to speak. Mother Radharani, are you there? Okay. Okay, Mother Radharani is not there. I think I will call on His Grace Sadashiva Prabhu. Sadashiva Prabhu, please kindly unmute and give your tribute. And please, while Sadashiva Prabhu will be speaking, Subhasaka Prabhu, please kindly be on the standby. Subhasaka Prabhu, please kindly be on the standby. Sadashiva Prabhu, you're welcome.
Oh, glory to you, Prabhu.
Umagyan
Timirana Sajana Jana Shalangshaya, Shakshu, Militaya, Natasmashi, Goravina, Vancha Kalpata, Rubias Chakra, Pasindobias, Vacha, Paritana Pavanabio, Bashnavio. Hare Krishna Maharaj, Prabhu's, Matajis, all glories to you all. Prabhu Bali topic, just like every other Vaishnav, their glories are always fundamentally very, very, very wonderful. I met Bali Prabhu when I was a very young boy. I was just rounding up my school set when he was coming to our temple in Benin. I was writing my work, and he was always encouraging me. Then it was in Auchipoli. He used to come weekends. And then one day I was having an argument with one of my classmates whose father owns the street, Akele Drive, where the temple was at Upper Mission, before we moved to the present temple. So while we were there arguing about this, Bali just came and solved the mathematics for us, but just verbally. And I looked at him and said, are you a mathematician? He laughed. That was my first encounter with him. So when we now moved February 1985 to the present temple, he now came in and he was already reciting permanently. He was appointed as the temple commander. Rapport, academically speaking, he took some interest in me. And when he's drawing all his figures, drawing his arithmetic or what do you call it, algebra, when he was making Jagannath deities, he would call me, I'll be asking, do you know this? Do you know that? I said, no, I don't know. Then I will run to Chaitanya Prema, then Bhakta Census, who was also my friend. I run to him and say, see what Bali said. Do you understand this? Chaitanya Prema would laugh and say, I don't know. Go and ask Anadene. You know, we had very, very wonderful relationships in the beginning. And I personally was very sad when he was transferred from Benin, because among all the devotees, it was more of my age group. We were all teenagers. Most of the people there were very elderly. Jyoti, Bhagavat, Upendra, Anadene, Bhakta Romanus, Romapad, Bhakta Clement, Chandrasekhar, everybody, Jagadish, you know, Mahananda Prabhu, everybody he was like the person, apart from Chaitanya Prema, he was the only person I could relate with. And one thing about Bali Prabhu is that he takes criticism very, very lightly. I remember when I went personally to criticize him, when they were buying these Isuzu buses for the temples. I said, Prabhu, why don't you just get, even if it's 3 brand new Toyota, one in the north, one in the south, one in the west, or probably one in the east, because this Isuzu is not something that most mechanics can understand. It's not a very popular brand in the nation. He took it, he just said yes. He said, he called somebody, said, you should get me pen and paper. And he was taking notes. And that was shocking, you know, but many people, when you try to criticize them, constructive or not constructive, they take it with a pinch of annoyance. He was very, very relaxed in taking that. And again, when I went to discuss certain things to him, because I am not a fan of some of the programs he did. I'm sorry to say, but all glory to him. I was thinking about sustainability. Just like Kavi mentioned, Prabhupada has mentioned the same thing, Chaitanya Prema mentioned the same thing. Sustainability. How can these institutions that you are setting up continue after your physical absence? For instance, we need to have an entrepreneurial arm in ISKCON, an entrepreneurial arm that has to deal with business. So he asked me to draw up a business plan and send to him. I did, but I don't know what happened to it though. And okay, he was not saying, can you handle it? I said, no, I can't. I'm just going into agriculture and I'm in my farm. I don't want to get entangled in all these things for the now. Let me just build my structure in the bush. So he was someone who always was open. He listened to ideas. He wanted a lot of ideas. And furthermore, more than all this, he had very, very strong. I remember one day I was telling him about Siddhanta Ashram Maharaj was there. Required in Ilupeju at the time. I was coming from Benin to run my business. I took shelter in his place there. And I noticed something about him, which has always been there anyway. He's a very austere person. In spite of all the magnanimity at his disposal, he will bring his mats. Him and I, we used to sleep in the temple room together. He will bring his mats and sleep there. No matter whatever guest he has, male or female, he will insist that we all attend Mangalarati. Bali was someone who was very pragmatic. He was probably, I just say, the face of ISKCON in Nigeria. Because when people see him, they remember the Hare Krishna monk. If you check through all his profiles on YouTube, he's referred to more, after being a Payman president, he's referred to more as a Hare Krishna monk. And so he was practically like the face of ISKCON in Nigeria. And of course, his magnanimity was beyond doubt very, very exemplary. There are a lot of people who have half of the money he has, and probably they will be not too disposed to it, to spending. He spent, he gave, without asking for anything in return. I wasn't much of a beneficiary because I never went to him, sincerely yours. But from behind, I was always praying, admiring, and praying that Krishna, in his infinite mercy, should preserve him so that he can do more. When he was calling me just a month before he left the body, I knew Prabhu has already disconnected. He got my number from Acharya Purandara in Benin, and he was calling in the farm. So when I took the call, I called him back. He said, Prabhu, can I call you? I said, no. Let's talk. I can handle it. We were on the line for over 30 minutes. I didn't know how to tell him sorry about all the things I heard about his health challenges, but he sounded so okay, as usual, so calm. And the way I knew that there was already a disconnect, he was asking me about Jada Barat. He said, you know, you're one of the oldest guys in Benin. You should know this guy, Rumusele, used to come. I said, yeah, Jada Barat. He said, yeah, yes. Can I have his contact? I said, Prabhu, Jada Barat has left his body. He said, no, I spoke to him recently. In my mind, I said, oh God, oh God. So I now said, Prabhu Bali, can you remember something I discussed with you some years ago? Ashram Maharaj, Bhaktivedanta Ashram Maharaj was a witness. He said, what is this? When I told you that when you have a personal deity, a deity that is personal, you should always keep that deity in your heart. That at the time, when your time has come to leave the body, that deity will definitely be the one to escort you to your next body. He said, well, you know, you and I spoke a lot of things. I can't remember. I said, okay, can I now? I'm telling you now, Prabhu, please hold Gora Nitai just as you have held them. Hold them very close to your heart. My spiritual master, Srila Bhaktivedanta Swami Krishnapad, said, and I repeat, your bhajan will be tested at the time of death. And sometimes these death experiences are not easy. My mother died, my daughter died, my kids died, all in my presence. When the time to die comes, Prabhu, even Pandits, all your senses are gone. It's just by the grace of Guru and Krishna that you can even remember Krishna. So I think one of the lessons we should learn is that we should all have deities that we are attached to. Bali Prabhu was very, very, very attached to Guru Nitai, which is shocking because he made so many Jagannath deities, you know, Ibadan, Abeokuta, Benin. So, but he had he has this attachment to the Muti of Gora and his brother Nitai, which is commendable. So if we can, in the honor of Bali, try to get closer to the lotus feet of our spiritual masters, get closer to the personalized forms of Krishna, and then we would be doing him a great service if we can keep one of his legacies on. Just like someone quoted Maharaj Kavichandra saying, the Sankirtan movement. There's nothing we can do to win the lotus feet of Lord Gauranga unless we preach, unless we give out Gauranga to someone else. So at this point in time, I don't want to take much of our time since we're pressed for time. I'd like to say thank you very much to Salika Prabhu for initiating this. And like I told him last week, I still stand on my words. If devotees can meet regularly on this forum, I will be glad to take up that financial challenge because I know in Zoom, some are free, some are you pay. I'm sure this one is a paid service because it's the free one, it breaks every 30 minutes. So whatever it takes, let's see how devotees can engage more.
Thank you very much, Sadashiva
Let's
Prabhu.
see how we can grow. Let's see how we can grow the movement because this is all we have, and this is the only opportunity we have. We don't know what's in store for us. All glory to you, Vaishnava Thakur Ki.
Jai. His Grace Sadashiva Prabhu Ki Jai. His Grace Bali Maharaj Prabhu Ki Jai. Thank you very much for your wonderful speech. I've not had time to call you after last week, but be informed that every day we have an online Bhagavatam class on this platform. And if you check the Hare Krishna Africa platform, you will see the notification there. So devotees are meeting, and yes, maybe offline we can speak. If there is any way to support those who are speakers on the platform, that would be wonderful. We thank you very much for your gesture.
I've been disconnected from WhatsApp for a long time.
Hare Krishna. Yeah, time is going fast, and I have a strong desire to have one of the mothers speak, but the Radharani is not there. But I have two devotees in Nigeria who I'm supposed to be calling, but I'm pleading for your understanding before I come back to Nigeria. I want to go back to Ghana. I'm seeing two devotees there who are very, very, very dear to my heart. His Grace Jagat Vasu Prabhu and Rameshwara Prabhu. Thank you very much for being on this platform. I think I want Rameshwara Prabhu to please kindly speak. Then I'll come back to Nigeria and then go back to Jagat Vasu Prabhu. Jagat Vasu Prabhu, please bear with us. Time will permit us to so that we can have you speak something. Rameshwara Prabhu, please kindly unmute and say one or two words in glorification of Bali Prabhu's.
Prabhu.
Hare Krishna.
Please accept my humble obeisances, all the devotees on the platform. For the sake of time, I have to go straight away. Thank you, everybody. It's nice that we have all met and hearing the glories of Bali Maharaj Prabhuji. It's inspiring all of us. Me, as a person, I have not had enough time with Bali Prabhu because, mostly he was in Nigeria, even though I heard about him in the late 80s from many senior devotees, some wonderful devotee over there. But I think when we came to Nigeria, when he wanted to open the Apapa temple, that was when I had a contact with him. We talked for about some 30 minutes. And I realized that he has a nice personality, even materially speaking. He was handsome, he's educated, he speaks different languages, and he was an international person. And I realized that he was really rich because in that Nigeria, that program, many devotees in the night when we are sleeping will be telling about how that time he wanted to join politics or something. And he was giving a lot of money, cameras to journalists in Nigeria. So I concluded that even though Bali Prabhu was near politicians, he had a different desire from the ordinary politicians, where their mind is to join politics so that they can amass wealth and enjoy themselves, have enough sense gratification. But Bali Maharaj was different because he was already a rich man's son, and he himself was possessing a lot of companies at that time. He had a lot of shares, a lot of money, a lot of luxury. But even at that time, he wanted to join the politicians. He always, shave his hair and keep the sikha. And this means that all those who came in contact with him, and that we say that right now the fourth arm of government is the media or the journalists. In material studies, we talk about judiciary, legislature, and the executive for every country. But right now, it has become very clear scientifically that the media is a fourth divisional aspect of society. And when you want to go into politics, you have to use the journalists or the media a lot. At that time, I witnessed how many journalists came there. I went to one of his storerooms with him. I saw a pack of, cameras, video cameras, normal cameras, digital, very classic ones. And he said that all these things are meant for giving to those who are going to propagate his mission and his plans to penetrate through the Nigerian society. And I knew that once he's a devotee, whoever comes in contact with him would definitely take some mercy and give the mercy away. So within my heart, I was actually blessing him for that. Then after some time, we heard that I think he couldn't get the position he was looking for. I think he was vying for a senator or something in one of the states. It did not work out. I remember one time I went to Agege with Jagabasu Prabhu to his auntie. And when we got there, one Auntie Susie, the Auntie Susie's husband, when he came to meet us, he told us that he know about the Hare Krishna movement. There's one person, Rosuji, who is like a monk and is trying to take a position in the Nigerian politics. And he has been following his articles, his statements that he has been releasing to the press. And it shows that the Hare Krishna movement, they are well-endowed people who have knowledge and they are real people. I think Jagavasu Prabhu in his next, he's going to speak next. He'll be able to tell this story also. So Bali Prabhu is a glorious person. Bali Prabhu is a person that actually, use different means, which we call strategy, to actually bring Krishna consciousness to many people. He, with his personality and his style, actually propagated this movement in a large scale. Somehow or the other, like all of you, many senior devotees have said, Bali Prabhu actually, function in a way that it looks like Krishna was actually penetrating through every home, to the Gorapad, the big program festivals during Ratha Yatras, the booths, paraphernalia that he actually imported, the cars he bought for the devotees, the cars that were branded. Actually, I'm in Ghana, Kumasi right now. And in Kumasi, we have one nice bus from Bali Prabhu, which is also branded with these devotees doing Harinam. And everywhere the car goes, people see that here we're also well-to-do people, well organized. So Bali Prabhu has done a lot. But what I will end up with is that, like many of you have already said, we should learn from him. We should understand that when important people are around us, we should give up envy. We should give up unnecessary, competition, and actually tap their energies so that we can use for the glories of Krishna and the Guru. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna.
Hare.
Salika Prabhu?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm actually ending. My last word was that, as we have all seen, that Bali Prabhu was a unique person. And we should recognize that in administration, Krishna is bringing all kinds of people to us. It's up to us as devotees to really see important people. Everybody is important, but people have different energies and talents. And we need to take all these energies and use them properly so that we can bring our movement in a very, very higher position. Because if we're able to position the movement in the minds of the people in West Africa, then the glory of Krishna will actually sit in the heart of all living entities in West Africa. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna.
Thank you very much, Rameshwara Prabhu, for your wonderful contributions. We're very grateful for that wonderful speech. Actually, I know there cannot be enough time for this event online because to talk about devotees, to see the devotees, to come in contact with devotees are the perfection of human life. And then therefore devotees release a lot of pleasure in these activities. I know that so many here, even if we have to do many more Sundays, we cannot conclude the speech about Bali Prabhu. Is such a wonderful devotee, and that is the nature of devotee. I'll come back to Nigeria quickly. I'll call on Suman Nitai Das. Nitai Prabhu worked with Bali closely, and Nitai Das has been a transformed young man since the time he come in contact with Bali, and I think it is important that we hear from him. I know there are so many temple presidents here, senior devotees who are still willing to talk. I will try as much as possible within the scope of the time that we have. Please kindly bear with me if you're not called. It is not act of disrespect. It is just because of the situation that is we have to manage with. Thank you. Sriman Nitai Das, please kindly unmute and express.
Hare Krishna, Dandavat, pronouns, all protocols observed. Vanchaka Patarubhya Kripa Sindhubhya Evacha Patitanam Prabhana Abhiyo Vaishnava Abhiyo Namo Namaha. My obeisances to all the Vaishnava devotees and to the Maharajas and to the Prabhu's. So first and foremost, I don't know where to start from because I have been thinking a lot. I've been thinking about so many things. And most people see me as, most devotees know I'm an activist for ISKCON. That's my position. And I was fortunate enough to have an encounter with Prabhu 3 times. The first time I had an encounter with him was in Gani Williams. It was during a Jamastami program. And he just saw me while I was eating prasad, and he asked me some questions, some very deep questions. And when we talked, he just told me that I should collect his phone number and reach out to him so that he can pay my school fees. That was the first encounter. Then it wasn't GSM era, so we had to go to somewhere in Oshodi and my mom. And then we called Prabhu, and Prabhu made the arrangement. I think Kavi Prabhu was with Prabhu then, and that was how we got the Lashmi. The second encounter was when Kavi Prabhu had reached out to me, you know, when they needed a pujari or something. He had just come back from India. And I regret not taking that opportunity today when I look back, because it was a very great opportunity. So I somehow or the other, because of some reasons based known to me, and my mom had given me some advices, and then because she was not politically very, you know, aware of situations, so I had to reject that offer. But the third opportunity was at a time I was already matured. At the time I had a close relationship with Prabhu. It was a very, very, it was a defining moment in my life. And I am grateful that it happened the way it happened, because at that time I had gotten to a certain level and I was just waiting. The level I was at that time was a question of, it was just between me, you know, just joining the mainstream, you know, material businessman, and then becoming a full materialist. So somehow or the other, he saw me in Togo. I was doing my business. You know, I used to sell things, some products and all that. And then he called me and he asked me, what do you want to do? You know, and I told him, I said, Prabhu, at this time, I want to be a motivational speaker. When I say it today, it sounds very funny because motivational speakers are often, you know, joked with on the mainstream media. But then it was really my dream. And Prabhu just told me in his nature that, oh, there's this devotee coming from America as a life coach. Just don't worry, we'll arrange and we'll do it in his own way. And one of the things I love about Prabhu, and I've learned and I'll continue to live with that, is that Prabhu can give you $100 million and you won't hear it. It is except somebody heard about it, they will be the one propagating it. And he will never ever use that as a point of reference. He gives you without expecting anything in return. And this is even at the Gorapad, you know, affirmation. So after that encounter with him, of course, I just returned to Nigeria back, and Kavi Prabhu called me and said, again, Prabhu just called and he said he wants you to come to Lekki and see him now. That was how I went to Lekki, you know, and I became Prabhu's PA in this transcendental way. So I worked with him, and my mood when I was working with Prabhu, unlike so many other people I know, was different, because for a very long time in my life, I needed an association of a wealthy and successful person for a very long time in my life. And it was a very great fortune. I had the opportunity to associate with Prabhu, who was a very, very wealthy person. When we talk of Prabhu, Chandrasekhar had been able to, you know, bring out some facts. But then in the business world, we know what Prabhu's what was, and in terms of politics and all that. And one thing I noticed about Prabhu, even sometimes, honestly, I would say it, I used to be like, Prabhu, all this thing you are doing, these people are not appreciating it. Let's do something else in my own way. But Prabhu would talk about how important all this project is, how, you know, everything is very important. Of course, in the business world, he exposed me. I'm into health today. It's because of Prabhu. Prabhu was into health, not for the sake of profit. And what made Prabhu started his health company was simply because as an NGO person, he always raised donations, and it's not really joyful when you are doing it with your money alone. You want to engage other people to do the same thing and create fortune. So as a result of that, Prabhu was able to discover a miraculous product, developed it, and then what devotees didn't know much was that the Gorapad staff were indirectly performing devotional service, and the Gorapad members were indirectly performing devotional service. He was so creative, he was so charitable, and practically, for me, what pains me the most was that I didn't know certain things were going wrong. If I had known, I would have intervened, and it really hurts me because I had that close association with him, and I knew the kind of action to take when he had some challenges. But I'm grateful because he called me 1 month ago, and in our last conversation, I had promised him that I was going to come, and then he was apologizing to me. I've never seen anybody of that that level to apologize to me, because he had called me and spoken some things to me that hurts my feeling, early last year. And he called me and he said, "Oh, Nitai, forgive me. I'm sorry." I said, "Prabhu, forgive you over what?" It's not really anything. When I got to know the situation surrounding it, I just forgot about it. So that was Prabhu for you. He was very humble. He was very down to earth. He was a visionary. He had this massive image, and he wanted to preach Krishna consciousness at a level at which most of our senior devotees, they cannot imagine, because he had an exposure. He was a genius, and he was a creative person. So some of the things that really limited him was simply because we did not understand his nature. And I would just say this, that as a movement, we had helped Prabhu spiritually, but we failed him psychologically. And it is our duty to make sure that we don't allow such a very expensive mistake to happen again. I'm grateful. Whatever I am today, it's Prabhu's mercy, it's Prabhu's contribution, it's Prabhu's investment. And I don't want it to be like when we do all these programs, we just forget. I have been thinking with so many devotees how to immortalize Prabhu's project. And we pray that Krishna gives us the strength. And most importantly, devotees who are listening, please and please, let us not lose another opportunity when we have such a very great soul. Thank you very much. And I'm grateful to be in this assembly of devotees. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Sumanita Das Prabhu ki Jai. His Grace Bali Maharaj Prabhu ki Jai. Thank you very much, the devotees. It is 25 minutes after 4 p.m. local time. That is 3:25 or 3:26 p.m. Ghana time. And we intended to extend from 4 to 4:30. Time is far spent. I know there are so many devotees still here. Devarishi Prabhu is here from Kaduna. Subhasaka Prabhu is here. I'm seeing many other devotees are here who I've not been able to call, and I'm constrained. I don't know what to do. But before we round up, there is one aspect of Prabhu Bali which I actually wanted to share personally. And with the permission of His Holiness Bhakti Damodar Swami and His Grace Srivas Vanachari, I would just want to share this narration, and then I will give the mic to them to decide what we do with the remaining time. Many devotees have been speaking about Bali, and I don't think even the whole of the 2 hours is enough for me to speak about Prabhu Bali. Prabhu Bali, so many of the activities, some of these preaching activities is purchase of buses. Some of the preaching activities he developed. I was fortunate to be one of the close persons to him that designed some of this project. But one thing that I wanted to share, which I know many devotees don't know, and which is very important, in narrating the compassionate nature of Prabhu Bali is, most of us know his grace, departed God brother, Eko Dev Prabhu. The passing of Eko Dev Prabhu, past times, I think is something that I needed to share here. And it pains me so much because I had vowed that when Prabhu Bali if I have any opportunity to do such a service to Prabhu Bali when he's going to quit, if I'm there, I want to do that. Some years back, Eko Dev Prabhu was diagnosed for having a cancer of the stomach. Of course, he never knew what was wrong with him. He was parading so many hospitals until his wife contacted His Grace Bali Prabhu. And when he came to Lagos, Prabhu Bali called me, and fortunately I was in Lagos then, and he said, Salika Prabhu, Eko Dev Prabhu is sick, and I want you to go with me. Let us go see how we can help him. And Eko Dev, I went with him, we went in his vehicle, and we went to Dr. Shinai, and that was where we discovered that Eko Dev Prabhu was having a cancer of the stomach. And unfortunately, when Dr. Shinai diagnosed Eko Dev Prabhu, he called both myself and Bali Prabhu inside and separately and told us, he said, this devotee, is there any of his family's close by? We said, well, we're the close first family that is close by here. And he told us, he said, you can try any enterprising health venture on this person, but I can assure you, with the state of his health, he cannot be saved. He has a cancer of the stomach, and it has busted. That is why he's stooling blood and he's losing blood. Even if you give him 100 pints of blood, he will still continue losing. And even if you go for surgery, you might not be able to save him. So you might want to look at what you can do to give him the best of experience during his last period. And I was shocked when it said that. Prabhu Bali called me aside. He said, so Salika Prabhu, what do we do? I said, well, Prabhu, I don't know, but since the doctor have pronounced this, this is one thing I think we can do. I don't know, we don't have auspices in West Africa, but if we can actually make an arrangement for this devotee to be given a devotee care and then make sure that he hears the holy name to the last moment of his life, that would be the greatest service that we can do to him. And Bali Prabhu, with his might, with his busy schedule, with his nature, with everything that he has, without being compelled, without being forced or anything, I was shocked when he pronounced, he said, Salika Prabhu, I'm taking it upon myself. If this is the last thing I want to do, I want to make sure that this devotee have the experience of Maharaj Parikshit as at the time he will be leaving his body. And he kept to that word. And right from that hospital, he took Eko Dev Prabhu to his house. He kept him in a special room. One devotee was mentioning how he has put some Bhagavad, the scriptures in some tablet phone. And Bali Prabhu took a phone and he put a permanent light with an inverter to that phone so that it can play Bhagavatam continuously without stopping. And he personally instructed his assistant that if for any reason he is asleep, that phone goes off, he should make sure that there is generator put on so that it should not stop at any time. And he personally took care of him, take care of his physical body, take care of his cleaning him. He was unable to take care of himself, stooling and what have you. He was personally taking care of this with all of his business. He abandoned all of that for the few numbers of days that Eko Dev Prabhu had left. And he stood with him until the last moment when Eko Dev Prabhu was to give up. And when he was to give up, he called me. I was back to Jos, and he put me on a live video and he said, see, Prabhu is leaving. I've called some other Vaishnavas. Please kindly pray for us. And I'm playing Bhagavatam. What else can I play? And I said, well, you can play the Maha Mantra. And he said, okay. And he changed it to Maha Mantra, and he continued playing it until Eko Dev Prabhu gave his last moment, last breath. He gave him toss, he gave him Mahaprasad, he gave him Ganga water. I don't think anyone can be more compassionate to his soul than this. That activity of Bali Prabhu touched me beyond expression, and I will never forget that pastime for the rest of my life. It was such an He was such a selfless person. He has all his businesses, he has all of his connections, he has whatever he has. For him to have given up everything just to make sure that he gives the opportunity to devotee to remember Krishna at the last moment of his life. I'm very sure wherever he is now, Krishna is taking care of him. I just felt I should share this pastime. There are so much we can be said about Bali, but I felt this tribute will not be complete without expressing or sharing this compassionate mood of His Grace Bali Prabhu. It is already 4:33. I will want to request His Holiness Bhakti Damodar and Srivas Vanachari to please kindly guide us what we should do next.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Maharaj just left. Okay, thank you.
Is he here?
Yeah, I think he left. He just left.
Well, how many more people do you have?
I have Devarishi Prabhu here. I have Ikasringa Prabhu here. I have Krishna Desh here. I have Subhasaka Prabhu here. And the mothers, I don't know whether they just wanted to witness, but none of them is speaking. But I still have, I think, 3 of them here. 3 devotees. Some have left already.
Well, I would suggest that those 3 or 4 people, we allow them to speak so that we round up this program this week.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So then,
I don't finish. I want to come out balance. Thank you.
P-Das, I can see your hand up. Let me give Chaitanya Prema Prabhu's hand is up also. Is it a question, a comment, or contribution before I call the next person? P-Das, please go ahead. Unmute and speak. P-Das. Are you intended to give a tribute? P-Das Prabhu. Papa Lila Prabhu. Yeah.
Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, Prabhu.
Yeah, P-Das, I can hear you. Chaitanya Prema, please wait.
It's a tribute, actually.
Okay, just hold on. I'll call you. I'll make sure I call you. Chaitanya Prema, you want to say something? Chaitanya Prema, yes?
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Yes, Chaitanya Prema.
Pronounce.
Yes, no.
Hare Krishna.
Yes, Chaitanya Prema Prabhu, we can hear you.
Prabhuji, before we close, I got Pritu Prabhu. Pritu Prabhu, who is in the US, he told me that Madhurya Lila David, as our god sister, is also in a critical condition. He drove many hours to go and see her, but he was unable to see her. And that we should pray for her. Seriously, she's in a very critical condition, undergoing operations. So I'm just bringing it to the notice of everyone so that we can all pray for her, so that whatever it is.
Okay, thank you very much. Kavi Kanapura Prabhu's hand is also up.
Yes, I will just a little contribution. I will just last time when we had this tribute, your concern was more about the Prabhu family who was there. That's why we were ready to go. I think today there is no Prabhu's family here. It's just the devotees. Maybe you can allow as many devotees as possible to talk till 8 o'clock in the night, if possible.
Yeah, we can do that, but also Sunday Temple program is congregations are all here, and we couldn't continue because we don't have a large congregation. We couldn't continue without this, and I know so many other persons also have some other engagement. But yes, I understand there's no amount of time that is given to Prabhu Bali that is too enough. I still see another on Sadashiva Prabhu. I want to call on the remaining devotees so that we can round up this?
Yeah,
So that's
yes, I just want to follow. I just want to follow what Chaitanya Prabhu has said. But Madhurila had some cancer, had a challenge with cancer, and I spoke with Chanakya Prabhu. I spoke with Prabhupada Prabhu, and they gave me assurances that she was recuperating. I'm surprised to hear this, but I think devotees can chant, call on Lord Shingadev to intervene. Also in Lagos, Ikachakra Prabhu is down with, he has partial stroke. Sight, he does not even see. There's a doctor that was supposed to run an operation for him. That doctor has been paid by some Indian friends of Ikachakra Prabhu. But unfortunately, the doctor traveled to India due to COVID-19 and has since not returned. I've been trying to make some arrangements with other clinics to see if they can transfer the money. Money for the operation has been paid. So I don't know. So if you can, please, all the devotees present, and we can also inform others, if we can cry to Lord Shingadev, because that was a direct instruction from Bhaktisiddhanta Swami Krishnapad. He told me that I should tell all the devotees, whenever we are in distress, we should call on Lord Shingadev. He does not fail. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. We will end up with Lord Shingadev Bhajan, and we'll pray for all of the devotees who are in challenge. Actually, it's a very big concern. It's one of the things I wanted to say as the last statement. But let me quickly call the few devotees that are here. Then after that, we can call on. We can do the prayers for the devotees. Devarishi Prabhu, please kindly unmute and give your tribute. Devarishi Prabhu. Devarishi Prabhu, please kindly unmute.
Hare Krishna, please accept my humble obeisances to all the wonderful devotees on this wonderful platform. I've heard a lot of tribute from different devotees speaking about Bali Prabhu for his wonderful service to the movement and also to some other non-devotees also. So by his mercy, by his grace, Bali Prabhu's mercy, I was also one of the devotees who he sponsored to India 2016. And I could say that I am eternally grateful to him because of what he did for me. If it's not by his arrangement, I will not be where I am now. So I owe him a lot. And when I had these health issues, I was much concerned about how ISKCON as a body, we are going to take care of him because he have done a lot of things for the movement. But I felt much pain, especially seeing the last day that he was laying to rest, seeing a few devotees around, and the devotees. We didn't really feel the energy, the vibration of devotees being around, chanting and all those things. Yes, Guru Maharaj was there. A lot of people were there, but I saw that many people here spent so much money, invested so much in them, even were not there. But I know maybe they were busy. But what I can say is I am very, very grateful for everything he did in my life, spending that kind of money. I didn't know him anywhere. He didn't know me. Just to see that I'm a Hare Krishna devotee, he invested that kind of money in me. Going to India every month, he was giving us $50. And he traveled with us when we were doing those parikrama, we were doing all the programs. He was with us. If it's somebody who is, is having that kind of money, traveling with us. He will just, after he just drop us one place, he will just go and rent a hotel and sleep, and join us anytime he wants. But he was with us throughout all the experience we had in Ujjain, when the rain, the storm, all our tents was broken. He was still with us in Ujjain. That shows how compassionate and dedicated he was. So on this day, I'm still praying for him. I'm still praying, and I know other devotees also praying, and we will continue to pray for him wherever he is. I know that with all the service he did for devotees, it's not going in vain. Krishna already allocated a special planet for him to come and perform his devotional service. Thank you very much to everybody. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you very much, Devarishi Prabhu. I'll call on Ekasringa Prabhu from Ghana. Ekasringa Prabhu, please kindly unmute and then give you a tribute. Ekasringa Prabhu. Ekasringa Prabhu, please kindly unmute and give you a tribute. Ekasringa Prabhu. Subhasaka Prabhu, are you there? Ekasringa Prabhu is not ready. Subhasaka Prabhu, Nigeria, Subhasaka Prabhu, are you still there? He left. Okay. Then Krishna Desh Prabhu, please kindly unmute and give your tribute. Krishna Desh Prabhu. Krishna Desh Prabhu.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Desh Prabhu.
Oh, you this one. Can you use it? Hare Krishna.
Yes, we can hear you. Hare Krishna, Krishna Desh Prabhu.
Please accept my humble obeisances. Where you this one?
There's so many other Zoom around the place.
Hare Krishna.
Yes, go ahead. We can hear you.
Please accept humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada, all glories to all the gurus and assembly of devotees. So a nice discussion is all I have to say concerning about Bali Prabhu is that I am one of the devotees who work with him in the year 2005, 2006 in Pujari department at Papa when the temple was newly opened, and we highly enjoyed him. And one of the things he did for us was that he sent 10 of the brahmanas working, and he loaded up with money. He encouraged us. A lot of things he has done, but I wouldn't want to talk too much because a lot of people, they have spoken. And my prayer for him is that may Gora Nitai shower upon him their sidelong glands full of overflowing grace. Jai.
Okay, thank you very much, Prabhuji, for that wonderful. Krishna Desh Prabhu's network is a little bit hanging. Thank you very much for your contribution. I want to call one of our senior God brothers who is here. He has been patiently listening. I'll go to London. It is not right that he's here and we could not hear his comments because one of our early devotees, and then I'm sure he has one or two encounters with his great Bali Prabhu. Krishna Dwapayam Prabhu, please kindly unmute and give us the tribute. Krishna Dwapayam Prabhu, all the way from UK. Krishna Dwapayam Prabhu. Okay, Krishna Dwapayam Prabhu, I think he's also not here. Prabhu, if you can hear me, can you unmute and give your tribute? Okay, I cannot hear. I think on this note,
Hare Krishna, please call on Govinda Prabhu. His hand is being up. Govinda Prabhu from USA. That is Kwajo.
Yeah, I know. I've seen Govinda Prabhu. Govinda Prabhu was here last week.
But his hand is up.
Okay. Govinda Prabhu, please kindly unmute and oh, Govinda, please.
Hare Krishna devotees.
Hare
Please
Krishna,
accept
Govinda.
my respectful obeisances. All glory to Srila Prabhupada. All glories to Srila Bhakti Swami Maharaj. And all glories to Srivas Maharaj. And all glories to Dera Damodara Maharaj. All glories to you all. I don't have much to say, but I'm really nourishing this nectar coming from the lotus mouth of all of you. This is amazing. So you know what I've been thinking all this time that the devotees are sharing about Bali Prabhu was that this nectar will cease to flow. This nectar will cease to flow when all of you stop sharing. And at a point, those of you who knows Bali and have all these experiences, different experience from Bali, will no more be alive. And after all of us have gone, Bali Prabhu, all these legacies will be finished. And these legacies the devotees are sharing, these are like Srimad Bhagavatam. Devotees like to read and hear narrations like this and take advantage of it to change their lives. So I don't know what the authorities or some of you are thinking, but I would suggest that a lot of book can be written about Bali Prabhu because we cannot stop sharing this. This is like an ocean. So why don't we write a book? Especially all of you are still here. We should put all in a book, one book, so that others also can read. And it will serve a very good purpose. I mean, this is my little contribution. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you very much, Prabhuji, for this wonderful suggestion. Actually, there is nothing that can be much to do for devotees. If one of the greatest challenge in Africa is that we don't keep records, because if we keep records, we will have a whole lot. Sometimes some few days I was discussing with some devotees and it was expressing that the activities of ISKCON devotees in West Africa within the late 70s to the late 90s, if we could compile them and put them into books, it would be wonderful. Pala Prabhu tried to do something in respect to Guru Dev's activities, but there are so much devotees activities. Prabhupada was just mentioning about Suklambara Prabhu. Whenever I remember that devotee, I just shed tears. And Ekasinga Prabhu, I have seen you I will give you an opportunity to speak quickly, but time is not there. And I think Govinda Prabhu's suggestion, it comes handy. Most important thing is that this tribute is being put into YouTube, so it is there. So we can always bring it down and then transcribe and then try to do something in that regard. We'll discuss with the communication department of the ISKCON West Africa and see what we can do about this. It's actually a laudable, I mean, there is nothing we can do to appreciate Prabhu's contribution that will be too much. And I think the idea of about compiling all of these tributes into a book will be a wonderful thing to do. So we'll discuss that with the communication department and see how we can make it happen. I will call the Kashinga Prabhu now, and then I think that will be the last for today, if you permit me. Kashinga Prabhu. Chaitanya Prema Prabhu, please.
Hare Krishna and Dhanavad to all the wonderful devotees on the platform, the Maharaji senior devotees. First, I would like to really register my and our sincere appreciation to the organizers of this wonderful program on this wonderful platform. This is one of the first time I'm seeing that a living entity is passed on and was reading the tribute. Individuals have been very sincere. Many a times in our environment, in our communities, people die and family members, friends read tributes, and they are full of lies. But then many of us who have had personal encounter with His Grace Bali Das Prabhu, or whether by hearing about him and conforming that to what devotees are saying today and last week, we can say really that His Grace Bali Das Prabhu was a true devotee. And we appreciate devotees for being so sincere about giving wonderful tribute to His Grace Bali Das Prabhu. I many times did not come in contact, personal contact with His Grace Bali Das Prabhu. I remember one time when we were having our second or third West African Water Yatra program in Ghana, His Grace Bali Das Prabhu happened to be part. And it was so amazing. We know how Krishna has so many devotees. Krishna has so much opulence. And among the 6 prominent opulence, in many times when devotees are giving lectures, says only Krishna possesses such wonderful devotees, opulence. Very true. And that no individual possesses such. But again, many times when I see in the lives of His Grace Bali Das Prabhu, I think he seems close. Is it about how beautiful or handsome he is? He speaks so wonderfully. And when you see him moving, when you see him even acting or talking, he is full of strength. It is about money. Like many devotees have said, his father left him good wealth, and he wasn't a lazy person, very active, and he was trying to expand that to the effect that devotees, including my very self, has benefited from him. So, like many others. So when I say all this in the personality of Bali Das Prabhu, and who has left us so young, he wasn't that much young like my very self. I understand he was 56. But looking at how strong, how good he was, I don't think he was too young to have died. The only glory and happiness is that he really led a life as a devotee. And that is why all devotees are giving true tributes about his passing on. So once again, I really would like to thank the organizers on the platform for making this opportunity for most of us who wouldn't have had the opportunity to have glorified His Grace Bali Das Prabhu in his demise. But today we are having the opportunity to say something and appreciating him and appreciating all Vaishnavas. So one thing I would like to say, he helped us so much as individuals, as in yatras. I remember the time he started the Gorapad program. At the same time, he started the Nagara program. At that time, Ghana is known for doing traveling Sankirtan, and he also helped in a way to refine our Harinam, where he came to a point he was personally paying all devotees in Ghana, in Nigeria, and in Europe, carrying so many devotees to India, paying them in dollars every week, personally providing care, medications. When I hear all this, and I remember many a times I feel how can we as an individual devotees imbibe these qualities in our lives and be able to transform others to come to that platform, because this is really the work of Krishna consciousness devotees. Like we can give the best welfare activity to humanity. It starts with us. How we can take care of devotees. When devotees are happy, then they can feel that sense of belongingness to be part of the movement and have the hope until Krishna come to our rescue. One time I was on Sankirtan and the day was very difficult. I approached many people to make a sale of Shapapa books, and it was very, very, very tough. So at a point I was just looking at a situation where I will find somebody to just, rest me from moving. So by this thought, I came across some group of young Nigerians gathered under some shade. So I started showing them my books, and it brought up a very big argument because of the pictures. They really put my mood off. So when I was about going, one other Nigerian young guy who from the beginning wasn't there came. So he stood for a while and listening to my subject, said, are you Hare Krishna? Then I said, yes. Then he said, you people have one very nice gentleman in Nigeria. His name is Rosaji, and he's a good person. So therefore, my friends, let us listen to this person. So he was talking about how I think the time his great Balidas Prabhu was, vibing for the PP man. He was giving laptops. He was giving up money to everybody. So it is such time this guy came in contact with his great Balidas Prabhu. So having referred this, it gave me the opportunity to speak about 2 hours to the people, and they loved everything I said about Krishna consciousness. And that was one day, among one days, I distributed so many books. So all glories to his great Balidas Prabhu. Okay. So we have really lost a devotee. We have lost a mentor. We have really lost a dear one. But the little suggestion I would like to make from this is that we couldn't do much to save the life of Balidas Prabhu. But the good thing is he was a true devotee. Though he wasn't a guru, he wasn't a sannyasi, but we can say with the glory devotees are sharing, his great Bali Prabhu was a true acharya, because he has infected so many individuals like Krishna conscious wise, where he was like his grace, what is the name? Kavi Kanapura Prabhu was saying, he went out the box of Krishna consciousness, talking about the Gaurapad, the Lord Jagannath, a picture on the Gaurapad, and so many ways he tried to remind the people about God or Krishna consciousness. So we have to learn all this and see how we draw programs to imbibe these things to help grow Krishna consciousness in our various yatras, in our various zones. So by this, the way we want Krishna consciousness to go wild, it will really go as we plan in the future. So once again, we thank the gurus, the Maharajas, the planners and organizers, and all the devotees who have had a very wonderful say about the passing on of His Grace Balidas Prabhu. We should try to make this legacy live to become part of us, and we become example. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you. Ekasinga Prabhu ki jai.
His
Grace
Grace
Bali Prabhu
Balidas
Maharaj
Prabhu.
ki
Okay.
jai. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. The suggestions are taken. This session is recorded, and some of these suggestions, we have noted them and we'll put them into action. We cannot leave without mentioning His Grace Utpala Prabhu. He is one of the instrumental to the success of this program. Even though I intentionally did not call him, because I know that he ought to be called, but because we both work from the background. In fact, he kept on pushing me. Whenever, even sometimes I'm slacking back, he would say, Prabhu, you know, it is next tomorrow, it is tomorrow, you have to do something. So we thank Utpala Prabhu so much for his contribution. But there is one promise I made. Sorry. Utpala Prabhu, I will give you a few minutes to speak, but there's one devotee here, I promise I will call. Sorry, devotees, please allow me to call Prabhupada Das. That is P. Das. I promised to give him an opportunity, and he's still here. He has patiently been standing here. P. Das, please kindly unmute and give your tribute. P. Das. Kindly unmute. Hare Krishna, thank you.
Vanchakalpatarudesa, Sindhuvahevacha, Patitanam Pavanebhyo, Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha. Please accept my Dandava Pranams, all the devotees, all the Maharaj, Srivas Banachari. Actually, because of time constraint, I will just go straight to the few moments I shared with Bali Prabhu when he was in Ghana. We got more close actually from when he was in Ghana, when he came from Gorapad. I was the one that actually helped them look for that office in Ghana. So I don't know if we start to talk about Bali Das Prabhu, as we all have said, we'll keep going and going and going, and then his glories can never be exhausted. You know, we won't be able to finish. He was just so magnanimous in his dealing, so meticulous, so wonderful. Always there for anybody. So what happened was that when Prabhu Bali started coming to Ghana 2015, so that period, the situation of the light in Ghana was shaky. So I remember the next day Prabhu called me and said, Peters, we need to get a generator. The light is so stable. So me, Srivas Shanacharya Prabhu, we headed straight to town and we got a generator. And also, then Prabhu just saw that, okay, we need a TV. And then Prabhu bought a TV. Until today, if we look at the temple room in Ghana, that TV is still standing. That is all glory to Bali Das Maharaj, that we had that TV there in Ghana temple. You know? So Prabhu was just so, and then the last point I want to make actually, as at that period, it was there, 2015, that was when my wife was actually pregnant. And then, because then I normally used to use my Nigerian MasterCard. So unfortunately, she gave birth and I had to go to the hospital to discharge her. But unfortunately, my MasterCard, I wasn't able to withdraw cash. So immediately, very early, I went to Prabhu Bali. Prabhu, my wife just put to bed, and unfortunately, my MasterCard is not actually working. So Prabhu said, so what is it that you need right now? I said, Prabhu, I need to go to the hospital. Prabhu does, I think, counted some. He was having some CDs with me, so it took maybe like 1,500 something CDs he gave me. I said, Prabhu, this, but I don't think Ghana Health will take this. But I said, Prabhu, just take whatever, any extra, no problem. So that was how I went to the hospital, discharged her, came home with the baby, and Prabhu was one of the first person to visit us. And according to our Yoruba tradition, when a new baby is born, you always come with money. So Prabhu also did that and then came with an envelope also to welcome our baby. So Prabhu was just such a wonderful devotee. And then when I had this sad news on the 5th, I was totally devastated. It was actually my dad that called me in the night. It's basically Alash Prabhu and told me this shocking news. So actually, Prabhu lived it. Prabhu lived all his life. It was an exemplary life. He was so simple, so humble, despite everything he had. So I think we have a lot to learn from his lives and pastimes. So I just want to thank him for the little association we had in Ghana. And He will forever remain in our hearts. Hare Krishna. His grace Bali Das Prabhu Ki.
Yeah. Thank you very much, Leaders, for that wonderful sharing. Actually, we want to express our deep appreciation to all of the devotees, for those who have left, for those who have stayed up to this time on this program. We want to give you so much of appreciation. Before I hand the microphone to His Grace Srivas Vanachari to give the closing remark, there are two things that I want to share. In all of what we have been doing since last week till now, one thing is very important, and I want to share this with the devotees. One thing that is very clear to us, whether we want to acknowledge or not, is that our generation of devotees are living. Whether we want to admit or not, our generation of devotees are leaving the planet. Those of us who are in our sect, who are still living now, should understand, like Guru Dev said, Bhakti Tita Maharaj said, in fact, that was one of the last seminars he gave in 2003 in Lagos and in Port Harcourt. He repeated the seminar. He said, let us now ask ourselves and write down, if supposing we have gone and devotees are going to write about us, what do you want us, or what will you expect devotees to write about us? We're speaking about Bali Prabhu today. And each and every one of us knew when we joined what we have done, what we are doing. So when we say good night, each and every one of us, let us start thinking, what will devotees be speaking about us? Most importantly, what is the future of ISKCON? Bali Prabhu has done so much. One of the greatest achievements of Bali Prabhu in his life was struggling to expand the scope of Krishna consciousness. Now Bali Prabhu is gone. The few of us that are remaining, what is the legacy that we want to leave behind? What are we going to do differently now that we still have the opportunity, that we can still speak, that we can still act, that we can still do something to affect the growth, the development, the legacy of what we have received from our chariots? Our spiritual masters have endowed so much on each and every one of us. And as our generation is going, Bali Prabhu has gone. So many of our God brothers have gone. We've just had a news now. Mother Madhurya Leela, she's on her way. We don't know how much time she has left. Actually, I'm privy to her health situation. It is very, very difficult time she's going through. We do not know how much time Krishna has for us to stay with us. Not just her. Many of our devoted God brothers and God sisters are having one health challenge or the other. It is a signal that something is happening. And what is happening? That this generation is going. What legacy do we want to leave for the next generation? Our spiritual masters have endowed upon us so much. What do we want to leave? What legacy do we want to leave? Let us all be thinking about that. I will end this section by playing a Srimadev Kirtan to round up. But before I do that, I want to thank you once again for all of you that have been on this platform, and all the contributions and suggestions that Vivek will be taken into consideration. I will round up by giving the microphone to His Grace Srivas Vanachari to give a closing remark, and then we'll play the Srimadev.
Salikaji.
Yes, I will round up. Yes, Prabhu.
Salikaji.
Yes, Prabhu.
Salikaji, Dandava pranams.
Yes, Prabhu.
Before you give the floor for Srivas Vanachari to
Chaitanya Prema Prabhu, I cannot hear you. Your network is fluctuating. Chaitanya Prema Prabhu, I can no longer hear you. Prabhu Srivas, please kindly go ahead. We'll hear what Chaitanya Prema have to say afterwards. Srivas Vanachari, please kindly unmute and then go ahead and give the glory closing remark.
Magyana Tamaridasya Gyanan Ganashala Kayaksha Choramli Tamyena Tasmai Sri Gurave Namaha. So thank you very much, Salikam Prabhu, Utpalan Prabhu, for such a wonderful memorial for His Grace Balidas Prabhu. What I can say is that the glories of Balidas has no end. Even if we want to extend this program to the next Sunday and the next Sunday and the next Sunday, devotees would want to speak. And even those who have spoken, they have suddenly realized that they left out some more important information and they want to speak again. That is the fame, that is the glory of rendering selfless service to the Vaishnavas, to the devotees. It touches everybody's heart. So as Govinda Prabhu recommended or suggested, I think the best thing we can do is to compile a book. And any devotee who remembers anything, all the offerings made so far, and whatever we forgot, we can take time and put it together in a written form. And we can put it into a book, and that will be a legacy for the future devotees who are not with us today to read. I also want to say that Bali lived a very wonderful life. Even though he lived for only 56 years, the 56 years were properly utilized. In fact, the scriptures say it's not the matter of how long we have lived, but it is a matter of how well we have utilized the time Krishna has given us. And I can say that Balidas Prabhu, he utilized his 56 years on this planet so well that he left behind a great legacy that we are recognizing now. And as Salika Prabhu said, this should set the pace. This should set all of us thinking. As Gurudev also said, when we leave this planet, what do we want people to remember us for? Now we are all remembering Balidas Prabhu because of the wonderful service, the wonderful assistance he gave to many, many devotees. And we can keep speaking about it for 1 millennium to come. So we should be thinking, what can I do to serve the devotees? What can I do to leave behind a legacy? Because definitely we will be happy when we are no more devotees to just speak as we are speaking about Balidas Prabhu. So Balidas' life, his example, his legacy should make us increase our desire to serve Vaishnavas, our desire to expand the movement, our desire to make this movement glorious. And that will be our legacy that we shall leave behind. There is not much time left. So I will say thank you to all the participants. Thank you to everyone who stayed on. And let us offer this Nashringa Day prayer to our God sister Madhurya Lila. We also know how much she contributed to the Sankirtan movement in West Africa. She's going through a very difficult moment. And so we had to cry out to Sri Narasimhadev to help her out. So I think Salika Prabhu wants to play Narasimha prayers for Manjuria and all other devotees in difficulty. So thank you very much. Hare Krishna.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Srivas Vanachari. For anyone who is able to stay throughout, I will be playing Nisima Kavacha, and then after that, I'll follow it with Lord Nisima Dev's normal prayer. First, I'm going to chant the Nisima Dev Kavacha prayer. And we should meditate on all of these devotees.
सर्वरक्षाकरं पुण्यं सर्वोपद्रवनाशनं सर्वसम्पत्करं चैव स्वर्गमोक्षप्रदायकं ज्ञात्वा नृसिंहं देवेशं देवसिंहासनस्थितं विवृतास्यं त्रिनयनं शरदिन्दुसमप्रभं लक्ष्म्यालिङ्गितवामाङ्गं विभूतिभिरुपाश्रितं चतुर्भुजं कोमलाङ्गं स्वर्णकुण्डलशोभितं श्रियासुशोभितो रस्कं रत्नकेयूरमुद्रितं तप्तकाञ्चनसङ्काशं पीतनिर्मलवाससं इन्द्रादिसुरमौलिष्ठस्फुरन्माणिक्यदीप्तिभिः विराजितपरद्वन्द्वं शङ्खचक्रादिहेतुभिः गरुत्मता च विनयात् स्तूयमानं मुदान्वितं स्वहृत्कमलसंवासं कृत्वा तु कवचं पठे नृसिंहो मे शिरः पातु लोकरक्षात्मसम्भवः सर्वगोपीस्तम्भवासः पालं मे रक्षतु ध्वनिम् नृसिंहो मे दृशौ पातु सोमसूर्याग्निलोचनः मृतिं मे पातु हरिः मुनिवर्यास्तुतिप्रियः नासां मे सिंहनासस्तु मुखं लक्ष्मीमुखप्रियः सर्वविद्याधिपः पातु नृसिंहो रसनां मम वक्त्रं पातुन्दुवदनः सदा प्रह्लादवन्दितः नृसिंहः पातु मे कण्ठं स्कन्धौ भूभरणान्तकृत् दिव्यास्त्रशोभितभुजो नृसिंहः पातु मे भुजौ करौ मे देववरदो नृसिंहः पातु सर्वतः हृदयं योगिसाध्यश्च निवासं पातु मे हरिः मध्यं पातु हिरण्याक्ष वक्षः कुक्षीकारणः नाभिं मे पातु हरिः स्वनाभि ब्रह्म संस्तुतः ब्रह्माण्डकोटयः कट्यां यस्यासौ पातु मे कटिम् गुह्यं मे पातु गुह्यानां मन्त्राणां गुह्यरूपकृत् ऊरो मनोभवः पातु जाह्नुभिः नररूपकृत् जङ्घे पातु धरा भारा हर्ता योऽसौ नृकेसरी सुरराज्यप्रदः पातु पादौ मे हरीश्वरः सहस्रशीर्षा पुरुषः पातु मे सर्वशस्तनुम् महोग्रः पूर्वतः पातु महावीराग्रजोऽग्नितः महाविष्णुर्दक्षिणे तु महाज्वालस्तु नैऋतौ पश्चिमे पातु सर्वेशो दिशि मे सर्वतोमुखः नृसिंहः पातु वायव्यां सौम्यां भीषणविग्रहः ईशान्यां पातु भद्रो मे सर्वमङ्गलदायकः संसारभयः पातु मृत्योर्मृत्युर्मृगेशरी इदं नृसिंहकवचं प्रह्लादमुखमण्डितं भक्तिमान् यः पठे नित्यं सर्वपापैः प्रमुच्यते पुत्रवान् धनवान् लोके दीर्घायुर्जायते यं यं कामयते कामं तं तं प्राप्नोत्यसंशयम् सर्वत्र जयमाप्नोति सर्वत्र विजयी भवेत् भूम्यन्तरिक्षदिव्यानां ग्रहाणां विनिवारणं वृश्चिकोरगसम्भूत विशापहरणं परम् ब्रह्मराक्षसयक्षाणां दूरोत्सारणकारणम् भूर्जे पातालपत्रे वा कवचं लिखितं शुभम् करमूले धृतं येन सिद्धेयुः कर्मसिद्धयः देवासुरमनुष्येषु स्वं स्वं एव जयं लभेत् एकसङ्गं त्रिसङ्गं वा यः पठे नियतो नरः सर्वमङ्गलमाङ्गल्यं मुक्तिं च विन्दति द्वात्रिंशतिसहस्राणि पठेत् शुद्धार्थविद्भिः कवचस्यास्य मन्त्रस्य मन्त्रसिद्धिप्रजायते अनेन मन्त्रराजेन कृत्वा भस्माभिमन्त्रणम् तिलकं विद्याद्यस्तु तस्य ग्रहभयं हरेत् त्रिवारं जपमानस्तु दत्तं बाल्याभिमन्त्र्य च प्राशयेद्यं नरं मन्त्रं नृसिंहज्ञानमाचरेत् तस्य रोगाः प्रणश्यन्ति ये च सुकुक्षिसम्भवाः सर्वरक्षि
Namaste Narasimhaya. Namaste Narasimhaya.
Lalita Hiranyakashipu Tanobinga Lalita Mama Jai Jagadisha Jai Jagadisha Hare Krishna. Thank you very much, devotees, for this, staying back. May Lord Nishima Dev protect and take control of all of our devotees who are having some one challenges or the other, from Mother Madhurya Lila, Ekachakra Prabhu, and many other devotees locally and globally that we do not know or that we know that are going through some health challenges. May Lord Nishima Dev take control of their health situation and preside over it. Thank you very much.
Malikaji, like
Hare
Krishna
Krishna.
Shakti program. Krishna Shakti is hiding here. Let us say something about Bali.
Prabhu, Srivas Vanachari has given a suggestion. Can we get a written tribute, please? Krishna Shakti, Mataji, please.
No, that's okay. I respect everyone. I'm just here to listen. Dandavat pranams. And I'm just, yeah, no, I'll keep myself, but I'm just humbled. All glories to Bali, all glories to his service. He was inspiring, and definitely loved hearing everybody's tributes. So thank you.
Thank you, Mataji. So on this note, I think we'll call it up for the day here. And for other devotees who have said something, who still have some things to say, or who have not spoken at all, we request we can send through an email or WhatsApp message. Most of us have my WhatsApp number. For those who want to send by email, my email is simple salika108@gmail.com. Salika as SALIKA 108@gmail. Even if we mistakenly send to Yahoo or Hotmail, it will still come to me. Salika 108 is the email address. We can send our tributes, and then we'll make effort to transcribe all of the tribute that we've gathered last week and today. And we'll work towards the project tribute to Bali Prabhu in a book format. Thank you, everyone. We thank you for being here.
As the publication man, you are in charge of that program, okay? Hope Allah is assisting you, but you are the publication man specifically.
Thank you very much.
So take this responsibility openly now. Hare Krishna.
Hare
Hare
Krishna. Thank you very much.
Balaji, you make sure that you push it to the end. Let this thing come out very soon. Hare Krishna.
Thank you very much, Prabhuji.
G Ganga, you won't tell us anything?
Ganga Prabhu has spoken.
But still, his face is fresh. Ganga Prabhu. Say something now. Oh, encourage your voice. Oh.
Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Krishna